Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Sina pods zangu ziko huko. A very good morning to you wherever you are. Welcome to Elgeyo Marakwet County, where we are bringing you the third leg of the National Cross Country Series, and we are here at the Iten grounds bringing you the best action. As expected, always we always bring you the best, and of course it's going to be a day full of fun, a day full of activity, and of course looking at the scenery, it's something that we expect to be of one of its kind, and for the first time bringing it to you live, and of course looking at the surrounding, the beautiful weather, everything that is happening. I'm not going to be alone. I'll be with Bernard Rotich, who will also be accompanying me. Charity will be on the other side, on the pitch side, to talk to these athletes, do those interviews, and of course we expect a great day of athletics. Bernard, welcome, good to see you again.
Good morning, boss.
Good morning. Yeah, it's very cold. It's unlike what we witnessed in Machakos the other day, where we had plenty of sunshine, very predictable weather, but here it's too cold. But is it a good one for athletes looking at the surrounding and everything that is happening here?
Yeah, of course, Iten is known as for good training. It's called high altitude area, and of course, for this weather, I think the athletes will be able, they will enjoy the weather running in this kind of weather today. But we expect to see good races here today. I saw the start list has more than 1,000 athletes competing here today, so it shall be an entertaining day indeed.
Of course, talking about entertainment, 6 categories. What do you expect, especially from the junior categories to the senior 10 kilometers?
Well, this is the home of champions, and I know all the athletes who have been training here, they would want to compete here and they would want to impress here today. So I think it will be a race that everybody wants to see who will emerge the winner. It will be a battle for the champions, and of course, as you know, this is the third series after Machakos cross country, and then we went to Kapsokony, and now we are in Iten. So we expect a good race here today. We expect entertaining races, especially the men's race, which has more than 400 athletes who are in the start list. So I'll be keen to see how these athletes will compete and who will emerge the winner.
Of course, talking about the athletes, close to 476 athletes, 300 locked out. What does this mean, and what message is it sending to these others, maybe those who did not compete here, and looking at the course, of course? Just talk a little bit about it.
Well, if I can talk about the course. The course, of course, it's a flat course, but as you go to the other side of the field, there is an uphill. You'll have to go uphill. And for an athlete who has done a good training, and maybe there's an athlete who has been doing training here, I think the course will be simple for him or her. And talking about those who've been locked out today, I think you see, there is need. Athletes want to compete. Athletes want to. There is need. They want to compete in these races. So there is need for private stakeholders to come in, and also we have our own races, just like Europe and USA, where they have their own cross-country races. A lot of races where athletes will be able to select which race I'm going to compete. So having more than 400 here competing today, 300 locked out. You see, we had about 100 athletes who wanted to compete in the men's senior race. Yeah.
Of course, you're talking about some of the big names. I've seen the likes of George Manango expected to run in the loop race, the 2-kilometer loop race. Sandra Phillips, of course, will be running the 10 kilometers women category. What do you take of this rich field of athletes? I've seen so many athletes that are coming in to ensure that they try out this. They normally call this a pre-season, but big names already gaining interest in this one.
Yeah, of course. I'll single out Harrison Wanyonyi. Harrison Wanyonyi does cross and walking race, but he's here today to compete because he told me he wants some build up ahead of his season. So running today here, he's saying he wants to compete and see what will happen in the next coming season. And of course, as we are almost starting, I think we are almost starting the race, and we expect good race here today.
And of course, expecting a good race today, and the 20 kilometers and the under 20 women race almost beginning. Your expectations as we head over to the other side?
Yeah, let's hand over to Charity and listen what she has today because Charity, welcome to the home of champions. And given that you are here today, we want to see how the race will be. Over to you, Charity.
Thank you so much, Mulemi and Rotich. As we start the 6-kilometer race for the women, I'll be at the finish point giving you the flash codes. Over to you, Mulemi and Rotich, as we continue.
Well, the race has started. That is 6 kilometers junior women, and it has about 8 or 9 athletes who are competing here today. That's a large number of athletes. Given that this is an area of the athletes, they are competing today in the home of champions. Iten has always been known as the home of champions, and we have 8 or 9 athletes. Just to give you a recap of the series that we've had, we started with Machakos cross country, then went to Kapsokwony in Mount Elgon, and this is the third series that's happening in Iten, the home of champions in Elgeyo Marakwet. And of course, the next series we shall be heading to Bomet County, and then Olkalau, and the final series will be in Kisii County in January. So today we want to see how these athletes will compete. Of course, we have about more than 1,000 who've registered. Just to give you a summary of athletes who will be competing, about 1,600 athletes who are competing here today. And just to give you a summary of the number of athletes is that the under 20 women, we have 89 athletes who are competing here today. The under 20 men, we have 129. Then the 2-kilometer loop women, we have the 75 athletes. 10 kilometers senior women, the number today is encouraging compared to what we had in Kapsokwony, because we have 155 athletes competing. And then in the men's 2-kilometer loop, we have 158 athletes. And the last event will be the 10-kilometer senior men, which has attracted of 476 athletes. And as my colleague Mulemi said, we have about 300 athletes who wanted to register, but they came late and they were locked out of registration. So that means we could have seen 800 athletes competing in the men's race. And Mulemi, do you know that it's standard that only 800 athletes are supposed to compete in a cross country? If there are 801, we cancel the event.
Staggering figures there, because I think it's also because we need to set standards and ensure that there's quality in the races. And as you can see, the first event, the 8 kilometers under 20 women, these ladies look really strong, yeah, and you can always feel that it's something special that is happening here. They're already doing what they really wanted to do, because you look at the number, 50 of them coming into this one, shows you that at least we have that continuity. Remember, we had the World Under 20 Athletics Championships in Peru earlier on this year, and from there we could see new stars were being born. And of course, this cross country brings together athletes that want to elevate themselves to the senior level in the future. Because I can look at this one, many camps are bringing in athletes like the Magnolian Athletics camp. I can see they have around 8 athletes in that one. We have Lemotit. Lemotit is very, very, very competitive, and of course they bring in so many athletes. What's so special about the Lemotit camp? I know you've covered them, you know what's happening down there, and they're really, really good, especially in the national events.
Well, Lemotit camp is one of the junior camps, especially for women. They normally specialize on women, and they've managed to bring out good athletes. Beatrice Chebet started there, because Beatrice Chebet, while a junior, she started there, and she went all the way to the World Under 20 in 2018 in Tampere, Finland, where she bagged a gold medal in the 5,000 meters. That is where she started. So Lemotit has been a special place where athletes start their careers. here. And for your information, we have 3 athletes from Le Motit who went to USA for a scholarship thing. And seeing such athletes competing there and training in Le Motit, it's something encouraging, and we know this is the future of athletics.
Talk about the future. Already 3 athletes in this under 8 kilometers under 20 women have the world athletics code, and that is Claire Cheruto Chepkoech, Florence, and Cynthia Chepkurui. In this field, these are the only athletes that have already been entered in the world athletics code list. This shows you that there's something important, really special happening down there. But then we're looking at the course as they negotiate through that hillside of the field. Look at them coming down here. It seems to be so difficult, especially going downwards.
Yeah, of course. For an athlete, when running downward, he or she has to take care because of injuries. We are trying to protect them from injuries. So for an athlete, you have to be careful going down. But talking about this event, we have Alice Jemtai, who was second in Kapsokwony last weekend. She competed in Kapsokwony and she finished second. And then we have Abigail Chemnage, who was third. So they are here again competing today. So I don't know if they will finish in the podium, but they are here competing here today, and we'll see what will happen. Talking about the course again, the course, of course, the athletes start in a pitch which is somehow flat, but there's a hilly section and then downhill. So those athletes who've done their training well in the hilly sections, they'll be able to run well, and maybe that is where they now surge forward to compete and maybe go for the prize. And Athletics Kenya has given the athletes a good prize money here.
Talk about the prize money from 5,000 to around 50,000. That's something that has made it even more competitive. I was in Machakos, you are in Kapsokwony, and now you are here. The large entries. It means that this is going to be even harder as we head towards the national championships in Ruiru, where we'll have all the best athletes converge and let's say look for a place to compete in the world cross country championships. But then you look at the prize money. Has it just given it an extra motivation to these athletes? Because right now you're talking about Alice Chemtai, Abigail Chemnage, those who competed last weekend in Chepsokwony. They still have the stamina to come to Iten and also try out before they head to Bomet.
Yeah. The good prize money, of course, motivates athletes, because someone sells a chicken, 200 shillings or 5, gets transport to come and compete here, goes back home, 50,000 richer. So for this, for the athletes, it's really encouraging.
Training centers, and it just shows you that maybe this is a very good environment for these athletes to try out, and of course coming in and ensuring that they do what they do best. But you've talked about the prize money. Of course, it's something that I can say motivates everybody. We've also seen the series, the track series that has been ongoing over the last few weeks, and that's something we can talk about on another day. But looking at the likes of Abigail, looking at the likes of Joy Chemutai Kiprop, these are athletes that know exactly what it takes. Because if you talk about an athlete going home with around 30,000 shillings from selling a chicken at 200 to maybe 1,000, that gives you an extra motivation to even work hard. And does it mean that we are headed to good days in athletics? Because you look at how things were long time ago, and now it seems that there's more growing interest in these athletes, and you see those who weren't even competing are now coming in.
Well, of course, it's a motivation to them. They have to compete, but I would tell you again, Mulemi, that when they start competing here, we have all the athletes competing here, and 800 meters athlete is here. 400 meters athlete is here. A marathoner is here. I saw a marathoner who was registered even today. That is Valerie Chemeli, a former Frankfurt marathon champion. She's competing here today. So this is a build up for the athletes, because that is where the season starts. And after the cross country event, we see now that we have the track and field events. And after the track and field events, now of course the road races and marathon races come in. And I'm glad, because in Kapsokwony, we had John Korir, the Chicago Marathon champion there. He was inspiring athletes, and I can see him here again listening to us, and I'm happy because he's following on these races, and because this is where he started. So seeing John Korir, the Chicago Marathon champion, here today, and more other marathoners I know they are in the sidelines, maybe watching the race and inspiring these young ones, it's a good thing. So a special mention even here today, we also have the refugee team who are here today. They are here to compete in all the categories. So, of course, the refugee team is under Janet Jepkoskei, the Eldoret Express, the former 800 meters world champion. She's here today with her team. And they want to see how these races will, of course, help athletes in terms of build-up.
Of course, talking about Janet Jepkoskei, former Olympic and world champion, in the 800 meters. She was called Eldoret Express because she brought back the joy in the 800 meters before handing over to Pamela Jelimo. And of course, we've seen Mary Morat taking over from where they left. It's something that is really, really interesting, that she transitioned from being an elite athlete to a coach, and now handling a refugee team that, of course, brings together athletes from all over Africa who are homeless. And I saw them at the Olympics, and I was like, yes, this is exactly what we want to see. She took the under 20 team to Lima, Peru, for the world under 20 athletics championships, and it's something that is really, really encouraging. And I think it's something that can always tell you that if you are a good athlete, you can also make a good coach. And you can see the products of Janet Jepkoskei, even the likes of Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who passed through her hands. It shows you that at least she knows what it takes to make world champions. Maybe we could see something different from these refugee athletes, because it's all about the care, the preparations, and everything that is happening as these athletes negotiate through the second lap of this under 28-kilometer race. Like Abigail still in front there, she's hanging in there, and you can see it now being separated. Now there are 5 athletes in that one, and Alice Chemchtai is currently leading the way, and it is the first event of the day. Remember, there are 6 events today, including the men, and of course the loop races that will be coming up before ushering in the 10-kilometer senior men and women that will be happening here at the Iten grounds here in Elgeyo Marakwet County. A total of 1,087 athletes registered here. And you look in the under 20 women category, 89 registered athletes competing right now. And then we'll have the under 20 men race, where 129 athletes had registered. We had the 2-kilometer women loop race that will be coming up later on with 75 entrants. The 10-kilometer senior women race will have 155. The 2 kilometers loop men race will have 158. And it is 10-kilometer race with 476 athletes. And now this is the defining moment, Bernard. Now the girls have been separated from the competitors.
Yeah, we have Alice Chemchtai. I told you about Alice. She's competing at home. This is her home training ground, and she comes from West Pokot, and they are running with her training mate, Abigail. Abigail was third in Kapsokwony. So seeing these athletes competing here today, that is Alice Chemchtai and Abigail Chemnagei. Abigail Chemnagei was third in Kapsokwony. So I don't know who will win this race here today. And then we have, of course, we have Lona Cherono also in the lead from Magnolia Athletics Camp. So we will see who will emerge the winner here today. But talking about Alice is coming back from an injury. I was talking to her last weekend, and she told me that she had a nagging injury, and of course she was out of competition for a long time. And actually Kapsokwony was her first race, and seeing how she competed and managed to finish second, it's really encouraging. And she's going places. And these are the athletes that are, athletes normally go through a lot in terms of injuries. So seeing her coming back, and she's coming back strongly, so I'm glad, and see maybe she will finish in the podium, because now we have 3 athletes leading in the 6-kilometer race.
It is Abigail, Alice, and Lona Cherono in the front seat at the moment in this 8 kilometers under 20 women, and you look at how they've lined up. Alice Chemtai in front, and then we have Abigail Chemnonge, her training partner, and Lona Cherono. And you've talked about Abigail and of course Alice. They are training partners. They are at home. They know exactly what it takes. They know how to negotiate the course, and they know exactly what to win is, because being second and third in Kapsokwony means that they know that they can actually replicate that good performance last weekend in this one. And of course, if you're joining us, this is the third Athletics Kenya cross country weekend meet here in Elgeyo Marakwet, and we are at the Iten Sports Ground, a very, very beautiful course. Of course, you look at it, it's green, it's flat, it's well marked, and you look at it, everybody, and I'm just impressed with the crowd this early in the morning.
Yeah, they are bracing the chilly weather, and I think it's normal for them. And of course, many of the athletes are here, of course, to see how the juniors are performing, and of course, maybe later on the senior category. But many athletes would want to see how this the race will unfold. You talked about the numbers. It's really encouraging, because having eight and nine athletes competing here in the 6 kilometer junior women is really encouraging. And of course, we'll see the under 20 men will of course be 129, and then we have the senior women 155, and 10 kilometers senior men 476. So it's a huge turnout. And of course, we've talked about motivation from the federation, and we will see how the athletes will compete here today. Special mention again, we have people who are watching this race abroad. Of course, we have one of the fans. Last weekend, she was watching and following keenly. She started here, and of course, she went all the way to the World Cross Country Championships in Belgrade, Serbia. And she's watching, she's following us. That is Diana Cherotich. Diana Cherotich was in the junior category. Of course, she finished 5th, but she's now in Japan. She's watching the race from Japan. And so we are watching. She's watching and following keenly.
Let's talk about watching keenly. It's the first time a live event is coming to you direct and live from this side of the earth. And of course, as we speak, it's Lona now occupying second position. Alice and Abigail, of course. Alice Chemtai now in the lead. She's being closely followed by Lona Cherono of Magnolia Athletics Camp. Abigail Chemtai also hanging in there. And they're exchanging leads in a very, very nice way, and that shows you that no one wants to let this go. And of course, the top 3 will be assured of a very handsome prize at the end of the day. And of course, this is the home of champions, as they say. This is where great athletes have been born, the likes of Ibrahim Hussein. They've all come from this place, the likes, and of course the famous St. Patrick. You need to take me to St. Patrick School, Iten.
Yeah, so I'm told 238 is now leading right now. 238, that is Lona Cherono from Magnolia Athletics Camp. She must have really trained hard for this race today, and she's now leading. And of course, Abigail is still there, and Alice Chemtai still also running from. Yeah, they are now following each other in that order. So talking about St. Patrick's, it's just behind you here, and this is where we have the great coach, Brother Connell, from Ireland. So the Irish coach, he has inspired so many athletes, the likes of David Rudisha. So many athletes, name them. We have a long list who have gone through his hands. So that is why we call this place the home of champions.
Of course, talking about David Rudisha, of course, the current record holder in the 800 meters, won gold, double Olympic champion in the 800 meters, 2016, 2012, that is in Rio and London, respectively. The likes of Peter Rono have also come from this place, Wilson Boyd, Kip Keter, Matthew Birir, and of course, we've talked about David Rudisha. If you're joining us, we are live from Iten for the first time, bringing you the third leg of the cross country. And of course, Lona now stretching that. No, it's getting competitive. It's now between the two musketeers. I'll call them the musketeers, Alice Chemtai and Lona Cherono, neck to neck as they head towards the last few meters of this race, and they're being cheered on. And as you said, last weekend Abigail did it very well in Chepsokony, but today it's Lona's day, as it seems. Lona in the lead, of course. Abigail Chemnage Sorry, it's Alice in second place. Of course, she was second in Kapsokwony. She is going again to claim second here at the Iten grounds during this third edition of the National Cross Country Series. And of course, it's Lorna coming through, and Alice, just as she did last weekend, she'll be coming in second. But Lorna, once again, piping the favorite to win this one, and of course, she claims victory in a very, very spectacular style. Alice coming in second. This has been fantastic. Just as you predicted, one of the people you mentioned have finished on the podium.
Again, we have a winner here, and we have Alice coming second and Abigail coming third, just as they did in Kapsokwony. This was a nice race for them, and of course, I'm told Lorna Cherono is their camp did very well in Machakos, and I think they went back to training, and now they've started training for these races and finishing here top today. I think it was a good training session for Lorna Cherono. So Mulemi, how has been the race for you in the junior category? Do you see like we have the future champions here?
Of course, they are already champions, because you talk about Abigail and Alice, athletes who have already shown that they have what it takes to win races. They have what it takes to have their names in that national team that will represent the country in the World Cross Country Championships next year. We wait to see what will happen in Rio, because we still have Bomet, we have Kisii, and then we'll have, of course, the National Cross Country Championships. But yet again, the winner, Lorna Cherono, born on 9th of March 2012, representing Magnolia Camp, winning this 8 kilometers under 20 women race. She's been followed by Abigail Chemnagay, born in 2005, May 2nd, and she's from the North Rift, together with Alice Chemtai, the home girls, coming in second and third. And of course, we'll be waiting to hear what they have to say. In fourth came Chepkoech Florence of Lemotit. And now I'll be handing you over to Charity, who's, of course, doing the due diligence, and of course just lining up the interviews. Let's hear what Charity has to say. Let's hear what these athletes have to say, and of course after that we'll be heading to the men's category. Of course, the race is not yet done, because there are some athletes who are still on the course, trying to see if they can complete this race. And beautiful scenes here at the Iten grounds, and we await for the athletes to be lined up for the interviews. Of course, I've said the winner is Lorna Cherono, born in 2012. She's done really well and ensured that she breaks away from the training duo of Alice Chemtai and Abigail Chemnagay. She claimed victory, and I can see them exchanging niceties here after that blistering final lap of this race. And I'll be waiting to hear what she has to say. And of course, still on the other side, some athletes still coming through. And of course, I said in fourth place came in from Lemotit camp. That was Chepkoech Florence, who came in fourth. And I'll be handing you over to Charity, who will be actually speaking to the winner and second place of this race.
Thank you so much, Mulemi, and songeni hivi mbele kidogo tafadhali. Thank you so much, Mulemi and Rotich. I'm joined here by your name, Lorna Cherono. Lorna Cherono she first finished in the podium during Machakos cross country. For the first time you finished number 2nd. Una feel aje medal ya kwanza kwa kambi yenu, na saa hii umeweza ukakuja ukachukua ushindi hapa Iten?
Nilikuwa natarajia, nimefeel poa. Kiwanja iko mzuri, si kama ya Machakos.
So sasa ukirudi mazoezi utashughulika na nini na nini?
Na speed work, na hill work, na fat leg.
Okay. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
We also joined by number 2. Number 2 is Alice Chemtai. Alice, karibu sana. Alice, you finished in the podium uko Kapsokwony a week ago. Na sasa unafeel aje tena kukua consistent na umeweza kukua kwa podium tena number 2?
Ya kwanza napenda kushukuru Mungu kwa ambaye ambaye amenilinda. Nashukuru sana, siku ya leo niko na furaha sana. Nime-maintain namba yangu tena. Juu kwa Kapsokoni nilikuwa number 2. Hapa nimekuwa number 2, but I'm aiming number 1. Nashukuru sana pia management wangu. Naona hata manager wangu ako hapa, nimefurahi sana. Sitawa let down as Kipran. Niko sawa sana, nashukuru Mungu. Niko na aim tena number 1 bado, hii si dream yangu. Nashukuru Mungu sana Kipran. Mungu aweke mbele.
We also joined by Abigail. Abigail, karibu. Kaini hapa mkiwa na Alice kwanza. Nyinyi wote ni training partners na mna train hapa nyumbani. Hii ushindi hapa nyumbani inamaanisha nini kwenu?
Inamaanisha ni furaha na tunashukuru tumefanya mazoezi na Alice na tumemaintain hiyo namba yetu. Kwa Kapsokoni nilikuwa namba 3 na Alice alikuwa namba 2 na tunafurahi sana.
Aha. So sasa hii ukirudi kwa mazoezi mtashughulika na nini na nini?
Sasa hii tunaenda kufanya mazoezi. Tuna aim kwa speed, halafu ile ya under 20 we will make it. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations. I hope nitawaona kwa the next one in Bomet.
Yaweza tuona number 1 too. Yes.
Okay, congratulations. That was number 1 and 2 in the women's 6-kilometer race. I'm also joined by the chairman for Bomet County, where we'll be having our next cross-country series. Hapa Iten imekuwa na a big turnout ya athletes wamekuja, wanariadha chipukizi. You are also passionate with the young athletes. Pengine matarajio ile tunatarajia tukienda for the next fourth series ya cross country itakuwa nini?
Tunatarajia, asante sana kwanza kwa nafasi hii. Tunatarajia kuwa tutakuwa pia for the series now which is remaining, kwa sababu iko mwezi moja katikati ya leo na wakati tutakimbia Bomet. Tunatarajia kuwa na wanariadha wengi ambao wataweza kushiriki katika mbio hizo, kwa sababu sasa cross country is very attractive, kwa sababu Athletics Kenya wameweza kuweka mikakati in terms of the prize money. It may improve very much, which we want to thank the Athletics Kenya. So we expect athletes to come back from road races back to cross country. Yeah.
In between the next cross country series, which will be in your county, and you also happen to be the director for the mountain running championship that will be held in Longonot in between. So what are your expectations and what are your plans?
Kwanza kabisa ningependa kutoa tangazo rasmi kwamba mbio za trail running ambayo itakuwa international event itafanyika kule Longonot tarehe 16 mwezi wa 11. Saa hii registration inaendelea na tunataka kuomba wanariadha wote, kwa sababu mountain running ni build up, inajenga misuli. As we prepare for Tokyo, this is a route to Tokyo. So ningeomba wanariadha wote, makoches waweze kufanya registration ili waweze kujenga mwili yao kwa sababu ya Tokyo next year. So tunatarajia wanariadha wengi washiriki. Tutakuwa na wageni wengi pia, among them nitakuwa ni President of World Mountain Running ambaye atatoka all the way kutoka ngambo na wanariadha wengi wa kimataifa.
Thank you so much, coach. We hope to see you in the next series.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that was we've just finished the 6-kilometer for the ladies, and the number 1 was Lona Cherono, winning the first ever gold medal for her camp, which Mongolia Athletics Cup, which is located near the border of Kenya and Tanzania. And we also have Abigail Chemnegei and Alice Chemtai making it to the podium again, way after finishing second and first at Kapsokoni. Over to you, Mulemi and Rotich, as we focus on the next race.
Thank you, Charity. Thank you, Charity. Of course, those were the winners of the junior category 6 kilometers, and of course, I can see the men's under. That is the men's under 28 kilometers junior category lining up there, and we want to see how the race will unfold. Once again, if you're joining us, this is Iten. This is Iten cross country series, the third series in this season, and of course we've had 2 other series. The series that is Machakos, and we had Kapsokoni series. So we are going. This is the third series, and of course we are looking forward to an entertaining race here today. Of course, seeing an athlete finishing right now, this is a future champion. We have to encourage her so that she can continue training and doing well in these categories. Of course, we said the athletes are using these races, the cross-country races, to as part of build-up ahead of the season, because after the cross-country sessions, we have the track and field events, which starts and goes all the way to September, because we have the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan in September. So athletes will be looking forward to represent the country in this event, and of course it will be a competitive, and given that we have a lot of athletes, they will only having a few representing Kenya, maybe less than 50 athletes who will be heading to the World Championships. And so the athletes are using these races today as part of build up towards that event. The cross country season goes all the way to February, where we shall have the Sirigwa cross country in Eldoret as one of the last events of the cross country, and then we now start the Athletics Kenya track and field event series. And Mulemi, I don't know if you can hear me. Mulemi, if you can hear me, maybe we are almost starting the next race. Maybe this is the under 20 men. Tell us how many maybe athletes are competing here today.
Field on the pitch side. Thank you very much. And now we are ready for the under 20 men 8-kilometer race with a total of 100 and I'm talking about 129 athletes, including the likes of Cornelius Koech of Western in this one, and it promises to be a race that, of course, will also bring some memories to most of these athletes that are competing, to ensure that at least they finish on the podium here in Iten. And if you're joining us, of course, this is the third leg of the National Cross Country Series, and we are live bringing you every event. And of course, I can see on my right athletes warming up on the other side, just near the St. Patrick Iten, the famous St. Patrick Iten school that has brought in a lot of joy to this country, brought in a lot of those are the traditional dancers, of course, bringing in the flair, the color, and of the pomp here at the Iten grounds. Looking at the weather, it's also very, 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 very cold. Highs of 22 expected, and of course lows of 12 on this day, as we get ready for the start of the under 20 men 8-kilometer race. We just witnessed the under 20 women kilometer race that was won by Lorna Cherono, followed closely by Abigail Chemtai, and of course Abigail Chemnagay and Alice Chemtai coming in third. And now we see a rich field of under 20 men athletes ready to rumble here, and of course a little jig just before the rumble, of course, here in Iten. The athletes on your screens right now getting ready for the 8 kilometers under 20 men. Can see the crowd also in the background ready to cheer them on. On my right, as I said, athletes competing with cars for space. Of course, this is a place we are best known for athletics. And we'll be bringing you all the beautiful scenes, all the beautiful images live here, courtesy of Athletics Kenya TV. For the first time, we're live in Iten. And of course, the 8 kilometers under 20 women was just finished just a few moments ago with Lorna Cherono winning, followed by Abigail Chemnagay, and of course Alice Chemtai, her training partner, coming in third. Those are Lorna Cherono won in a time of 20 minutes 48.4 seconds. Alice Chemtai 20 minutes 49 seconds. And now that's the crowd waiting to see the future stars battle out here at the Iten grounds for the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race. The brick walls, of course, a very, very humble town, a very, very neat town, and of course, a very, very good environment for athletic And everything that we bring you here just shows you that this is the place to be. You can see this crowd slowly coming in, and these are just some of the live images. The crowd slowly growing here. As you can see on the banner, the 2024-25 cross-country series, and already we've done 3 legs of this one. We started in Machakos, we went to Kapsokony, and now we are here in Iten for the 3rd leg. A mixture of culture, heritage, and of course pride here in Iten. The locals lining up this early to cheer the stars as they head towards the start point of this one. And this promises to be a very interesting day of athletics. Traditional music also filling the air, and of course plenty of sponsors also gaining interest in this one as we get ready for the 8 kilometers under 20 men. And maybe just to remind you, Lorna Cherono, winner of the 8 kilometers women race, she was closely followed by Abigail Chemnagay and of course Alice Chemtai. And 4th place was Florence Chepkoech of Lemotit. As Bernard said, Lorna comes from one of the best youth camps in the country. And we are almost ready for start here in the 8 kilometers under 20 men. They've been recalled. These are huge 149 athletes lining up for this one. Who's going to take it home? Of course, we talked also about the prize money, everything nice coming out of this one. And these athletes are now ready for the start. They've been recalled, you know, with the beautiful weather they have, to make sure that they are all in shape before the start of this one.
Sprinting to try and get and jostle for a good position, because there are so many, and we shall see if Alamis will be able to retain this cross-country series title, because he won in the second series in Kapsokony. Mulemi.
Thank you, Bernard, and that's the start of the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race, and they are steaming away. Can see participants from Uganda, can see one from Ireland, and of course plenty of talent here as they first begin cruising through this beautiful track. As you can see, it's well marked. You can see the way the flat course right now, where these athletes are running just to try and find a footing, and of course good placement in this one. And if you're joining us, this is the second race of the day, the under 20 men's uh, 8-kilometer race, as they go towards that hay area where they'll have to jump the hay. Now you can tell that this is going to be very, very competitive. You can see all these athletes, nothing has separated them much. And as Bernard talked about it, the likes of Kenneth Kiprono, Andrew Kipto, Alamisi Fresh from the Under 20 World Championships in Lima, Peru is here to compete. And look at on your far
and of course,
already filling up the terraces, the standing areas.
Mulemi, and of course Mulemi, we have one Mulemi.
Yes, Bernard.
We have one of the athletes, international athlete. His name is Fion Muchu with a bib number 080. Fion Muchu. I don't know where we have, of course we will tell the viewers where he comes from, but I think he also trains here in Iten. You know, remember Iten is a home of champions, and most of the foreign athletes come here to train ahead of their races. So Mulemi will be watching also to see how Fion will perform here today. Of course, he's in the middle there. He's among some of the middle athletes who are in the middle, running in the middle.
Right now in the lead is Lucky Ramsey of Central Rift, now taking that bend towards that hilly area that is dreaded. Not many of these athletes like that place, but then it is what it is. They have to go through that course, and you can see the beautiful images from Iten, and now taking that hilly course, going to uphill, which is very, very telling, which is very, very intense. And of course, this shows you that you must have that endurance. And of course, a natural setup, livestock. So enjoying their meal as that they negotiate through the first lap of this one. It is quite early to tell, but you can already see the serious contenders running away from the rest of the pack. Still leading is this man born in 2009, 1st of December, called Lucky Ramsey. Now that's where the hardest part of this race comes in, whereby they have to jog uphill, then come downwards onto the flat course. Beautiful, beautiful images there from the Iten grounds, bringing you the third leg of the National Cross Country Championships. Now that's beautiful, that's telling. And if you negotiate that beautiful, then it means that you have the endurance, and of course not only winning, but this being a pre-season, then this is something that can tell you that something great is going to happen. And of course, there's an award ceremony going on the other side of the field. Lona Cherono, of course, winner of the 8 kilometers under 20 race that was held here, and that's the third. It's Abigail Chemnangei who came in third. She's been awarded. Alice Chemtai also awarded, and Lona Cherono, of course, that is Chemnangei, as the athletes take the downhill, run downhill, sorry. So Alice Chemtai, second in Kapsokwon, second here in Iten, comes in second, and of course she's being awarded on the other side. But this is the 8 kilometers under 20 men already underway, and the winner of the third edition under 20 kilometers women race, Lona Cherono, she's going to be awarded for this one, representing Magnolia Athletics Camp, and she's the winner on this beautiful day. She walks home with 30,000 Kenya shillings. As you can see on your screens, She's being awarded by Athletics Kenya for this. Abigail won 15,000 shillings, finishing in third, and of course Alice, who came in second, pocketed 20,000 Kenya shillings. That's the leading pack of the 8 kilometers men's race. Those Kipkandie Mukulia currently in the lead in this one. Kipkalie Mukulia from Central Rift is now leading the pack in this 8-kilometer race. Laban Kipto Kosgei in second place at the moment. Laban Kipto, of course, a homeboy here. Kipkandie Mukulia representing North Rift, also the homeboy. And I can see Fion Omurku, who trains here, is also trying out here, but that is Laban and Mukulia in 1 and 2 at the moment. And that's Andrew Kipto Alamisi now dictating the pace here. Talked about Andrew. And Andrew, of course, was in Peru. And Bernard, you have something to talk about Andrew.
Of course, I talked to him a few days ago, and he was telling me that he even didn't want to go back to school because after finishing standard 8, he saw that he can run so well. But the dad had to trick him to go and compete, to go back to school, to join Form 1. So he really got mad, but of course he ended up going to school, finishing his Form 4 last year, and seeing him doing well in athletics, I think this is really encouraging for athletes because they can be able to do well in class and at the same time do well in the sport. So Andrew is one of the athletes here. Of course, he is leading he's in the leading pack. But I want you to watch him in the last lap. He loves hanging behind those who are leading, and then of course sprints for the finish, and that is what he did in Lima, Peru, when he went for the gold in the 5,000 meters and managed to beat our rivals Ethiopians. So for him it's really encouraging. And of course I said there are people watching the race live from various countries. There's someone has texted me from Netherlands, and we have another one in Netherlands, and then another one in, of course, 2 athletes in Japan. We have Miriam Cherop, who managed to win a silver in the under 20 in 2018 in Tampere in 1500 meters. She's watching live from Japan, and of course we have also, I told you about Diana Cherotich, who loves following these races live from Japan. So we have so many people watching us live, and we want to welcome you in this third series in the home of champions in Iten. Mulemi.
Thank you very much, Bernard. And of course, this is the second lap of these 8 kilometers. Andrew Kipto Alamisi is still hanging in the first group of these athletes as they take that bend towards the hillside of the track. Kipkandie Mukulia, of course, still in the mix. And of course, Laban Kipto Kosgei. And it is Northrift, the homeboys, are dictating pace here and ensuring that they actually stay in front and being cheered by the home crowd here in Iten. And being the first time we're bringing to you this live, there's a lot of excitement around the course. Also, the athletes, some are struggling, some are of course breaking away from the race. You talked about Alamisi, a very beautiful story there, and now he's making sure that he lives his dream.
And of course Mulemi,
Yes.
And Alamisi trains with Daniel Simiu under Eric Kogo. Their coach is Eric Kogo. They both train in Iten. If you can remember, Daniel Simiu managed to emerge 5th in Chicago Marathon. He was 5th, and that was his first ever marathon. He has a silver in 10,000 meters in the World Championships, which he got last year. So, of course, as he goes to marathon, I don't know if he will go back. If he will go back to the track events, but he has a silver medal, and maybe he'll be looking forward to win a gold. But having started, of course, our marathons and going for marathon, it was a good start for him because emerging 5th as a debut, it was a good race for him. So he trains with Alamisi, and I think they keep encouraging one another. We have now about 10 athletes in the lead pack, and some of the athletes here, we saw them at the ISF cross country in Nairobi in May. Most of the athletes were competing there. We'll be able to get their names, but they are now in the lead pack. We have about 10 athletes now going for their second lap. I think so. Mulemi?
Talked about the ISF, the International School Federation World Cross Country Championships. They were held at the Gong Rescos earlier on this year, and you look at that leading pack in this 8 kilometers under 20 race, and Silas Senchura Nchayo is currently leading the likes of Andrew Alamis. Andrew Kipto Alamisi currently in 3rd place. Silas Senchura Nchayo in 1st place at the moment as we head towards the business end of matters here in the 8 kilometer under 20 race. And if you're joining us, this is the second event of the day. We have the 2 kilometers for both men and women, for ushering in the 10 kilometers for both men and women. Quite competitive here, and if you're joining us, this is live from the Iten grounds and the 3rd leg of the National Cross Country Series. That is Dennis Kipkoech Kemboi currently leading his teammate Silas Senchura Chai. Both of them representing Gong Athletic Club. So it is Dennis Kipkoech Kemboi in 1st, Silas Senchura Nchayo in 2nd place, and of course Andrew Kipto Alamisi in 3rd. Still too close to call, but right now it's shaping up, and of course look at the way they are communicating as they head towards the last lap, and that is the man we are talking about, Fiona Omoku. He trains here, and he also wants to make a mark and ensure that he is among the names that will be in people's making the headlines in years to come. And
of course,
Alamisi now taking the lead.
Yeah. I told you he loves running from behind, and of course he's running with another athlete who was in Lima. That is Dennis Kipkoech. Dennis Kipkoech managed to get a silver medal in the 3,000 meters in Lima, Peru. He had a silver medal. So we have 2 athletes in the lead who are in Lima, Peru, running in this category today. Dennis Kipkoech had a silver in 3,000 meters. Mulemi?
Dennis Kipkoech, of course, winner of a silver medal in the 3,000 meters in Peru 2 months ago, and he's here trying out in the under 20 kilometer men's race as they head towards the last lap of this one. They'll actually be doing everything to ensure that they finish on the podium. Going towards that bend that leads to the hillside of the course, the hilly part of the course, of course.
Yeah, the hill is so tough.
Tests the endurance. It's so tough for these athletes. You can see it's so natural. It's not a course that has just been erected the other day, and you can see Dennis Kipkoech, Kemboi, and Alamisi checking over his shoulder to see who's closer to him, and now he knows where to take the lead. He knows where to strike, and now takes the lead as they head on top of that hillside area. But then Silas Centura says, I still got this one. Dennis Kipkemboi says, yes, I got this one too. I won silver in Lima, Peru. And Alamisi says, okay, wait, we got it here. So it's Ngong, no thrift. And if you're joining us, remember we are live from the Iten grounds, bringing you the second event of the day. That is the under 28 kilometer race. And if you're wondering where Iten is, it is in Elgeyo Marakwet County. And of course, the 6 kilometers under 20 women already happened. We'll have the 2 loop women at around 10:40, starting kilometer senior women race at 11 a.m. before the 2 kilometers men 11:50 a.m. before ushering the main event. That is the 10 kilometer senior men's race at around 12:10 p.m. Kenyan time. That is Andrew Alamisi still negotiating his way in this one.
Mulemi, I think this we will have a sprint finish here, because having the athletes, about 9 athletes are stuck together, so I think it will be a sprint finish here. Of course, Mulemi, they are exchanging leads here. Now leading is Silas Centura and Chayo. He comes from Ngong, and of course he has a world athletics code, and of course his training partner Dennis Kipkoech Kemboi. Now we have Alamisi in second place, and it's a packed group, and we are about 7 athletes stuck together, and of course it will be a sprint finish. I told you, Mulemi, earlier that Alamisi loves a sprint finish, so he has that strong finishing kick, and seeing him in the lead pack, I know he's planning something. He's planning something here today, and we expect him to maybe surprise and win again here, and of course at home ground, taking advantage of the home ground. Welcome. This is the third series of Iten cross country, and of course after this the competition will head to Bomet County, and then Olkalau, and of course the last series will be in Kisii County. That is in January. After that, all the counties will be hosting their events. Then to the regional levels. The regional levels will be competing at the same time with the discipline forces, that is with the KDF, National Police, and KWS, NYS, Kenya Forest. They will all be competing to select teams that will be able to meet at the national level in Ruiru later in February. And of course, in between we have the Chepsaita Great Run, that is the Chepsaita cross country, where athletes are also preparing to compete. That's a World Athletics labeled gold label race, and many athletes will want to compete here and gauge their performance. And of course, we have another gold label which comes in February. That is the Lobo, the Sirikwa Classic Cross Country, which ends in which will be an end to the cross country season, and now that will pave way for the Athletics Kenya track and field events. So it's a busy calendar, especially for the cross country. All the way from now until February, we will see athletes competing in various events. And of course, the cross-country event gives a chance athletes to compete and get their performance ahead of various races. We said even a marathoner can compete in a cross-country just to seek and see if he can compete and have that speed for the upcoming international races. So of course, we are in the final lap of the 800 of the 8-kilometer junior men, and of course, as we head to the tail end of this race, who will be the winner? Will Alamisi win the race? Will of course Kandia Mkulia win the race? Will Silas Centura Onchayo win the race? Remember, we had 155 athletes registering in this category. So let's wait and see to see if the Alamis will be able to win once again after winning in Kapsokwen. Mulemi.
Of course, Alamisi there on your screens right now, trying really hard to ensure that he stays in the leading pack, and of course, leading the way is Silas Centuria. Alamisi hanging in there second. Alamisi now falls to third as they head towards the last grueling part of this course, that is the hillside. They'll come downwards and head towards the home stretch. So it is something that will test their endurance, test their speed, and as Bernard said, Alamisi loves sprint finishes, and we're waiting to see if this is going to happen. If you're joining us, this is the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race here at the Iten grounds. Look at the crowd already filled up the stadium. The course looks really beautiful, and you can feel there's buzz in this town of Iten. So Alamisi trying really hard, but then there's a new leader. Alamisi falling in third. He's not going to replicate what happened in Kapsokony. And now it's like it's been decided. Alamisi trying really hard, but that's Brian Kirwa,
and of course
the 8 kilometers under 20 men. Alamisi coming in second, not the way not what expected. Alamisi there looks disappointed after having a good outing in Kapsokony. Now the athletes being
Mulemi. I'm told the winner is Kevin Kiprop. Yes, I'm told the winner is Kevin Kiprop. Kevin Kiprop is a younger brother to Justus Soget, the 1500 meters athlete. So that is Kevin. Kevin, he trains in Baringo, that is in Sinonin, Baringo. That is a brother to the younger brother to Soget. And of course, you saw Alamisi came in second. The tricks did not work today, and of course, it was a sprint finish. Mulemi,
After winning in Kapsokony, was not able to do it, rather replicate the same performance here. That is Andrew Kipto Alamisi. But then the new champion of the Iten leg of this one is Kevin Kiprop, trains in Baringo, and he's just came from nowhere, and he beat the likes of Silas Sechu and Chayo, Dennis Kipwech Kemboi.
Mulemi, I think we are ready for the interviews. Charity is ready for the interviews today.
And of course, we'll have to hear what Kevin Kiprop and of course the likes of Andrew Kipto Alamisi have to say. Over to you, Charity, on the other side. You can carry on, Charity. Yes, Charity, you can carry on.
Okay, thank you so much, Rotich and Mulemi. I'm joined here by number 1, Dennis Kiprop. Kevin, tulikuwa nawe Kapsokony. Vile ulirudi ulifanya nini mazoezi ndio leo umekuja ukahakikisha umeshinda ukakuwa number 1?
Nilienda kufanya mazoezi vizuri, nikakaza training ndio nikaweza kuchukua nambari wa kwanza huko Iten.
Yeah. Kwa training ulifocus na nini?
Nilifocus nikafanya vizuri. Coach akatupigisha vizuri hadi nikaweza kuchukua nambari wa kwanza hapa. Yeah.
I'm also joined by number 2, who is Andrew Alamisi. He is the world under 20 champion in the 5,000 meter. Alamisi also won at the Kapsokony cross country. Alamisi, ulisema hii mbio unataka kutest ufeel mwili iko aje ndio uweze kujua vile utajitayarisha for the next race. Usai umefanya analysis, umeona nini?
Mwili si ati iko chini sana. Iko sawa, lakini na vile tulisolo hapo kwa mlima tu. Lakini iko sawa. Yeah.
So ukirudi kwa mazoezi una focus na nini?
Naendelea tu kupiga bado speed endurance. Yeah.
Congratulations and all the best.
Asante.
As we wait for number 3, I'm joined by number 4. Tulikuwa nawe pia Kapsokony. Machakos. Machakos ulikuwa among the podium finishers na pia leo umemaliza number 4. Una feel ni nini na competition imekuaje hapa considering that hii ni home of champions?
Yeah. Competition hapa imekuwa tight, lakini nimeshukuru Mungu nimeingia. Sikuwa natarajia number 4, lakini nimeingia. Yeah.
So ukirudi utafocus na nini pengine tuweze kukuona Bomet huko kwa podium?
Yes, nitakuwa sasa Bomet na naomba Mungu niingie kwa podium. Yeah. Okay.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
We now joined by the third finisher. Wamekuangalia?
Ndio. Yeah.
Race imekuwa vipi kwako?
Imekuwa fine.
Yeah. So ukirudi mazoezi unaenda kuangalia nini na nini?
Speed work. Yeah, sina speed kabisa. Yeah, hiyo ndio naenda train. Yeah.
Na kuna race pengine cross country unajitayarisha in between hapa kwenda nje?
Hamna. Ndio hivyo tu.
Okay. Thank you so much and all the best.
Asante.
Those are the under 28 kilometer podium finishers. We had Andrew Alamisi relinquishing his position from number 1 to number 2. He had won in the second series at the Kapsokony, and also we had Kevin Kiprop who finished second and now becoming number 1 from Machakos. Over to you, Mulemi, as we prepare for the 2-kilometer loop women in the next series.
And Alamisi, Kiprop, of course, Cornelius speaking to Charity after emerging as the podium finishers in the 8 kilometers. And and we'll be taking, we'll be going to the field to see who else is coming through. Of course, there were 149 participants in this one, and after that we'll have the loop race, the 2-kilometer loop. And if you're joining us, remember we are live from Iten. Kevin winning that race, followed by Alamasi and of course Cornelius Kipkosgei coming in third. And now into another very, very, very interesting race, that is the 2 kilometers loop women, where we have the likes of Diana Cherop Lokung, we have the likes of Miriam Chemutai Kibet, and those are the results. Kevin Kiprop 24 minutes, 24.6 seconds. Andrew Alamisi 24 minutes, 28.3 seconds, and Cornelius Kipkosgei coming in third, 24 minutes, 30.9 seconds. So those are the podium finishers, and they walk out with 30,000, 15,000 shillings respectively.
Mulemi?
Milicherotich, Miriam Chemutai Kibet expected in the loop race in the women category. Bernard?
Yeah. Maybe people are wondering, what is this 2-kilometer loop race? Why the 2 kilometer?
Yeah, I'm
loop
wondering,
race?
am I supposed to loop?
Well. That means, remember, we have the mixed relay in the World Athletics Cross Country Championships. So when you do the loop, that is where the federation is able to get the best team that will be able to compete in that championship. So remember, this year we had Kenya managed to defend its title again in that loop. Now that was a mixed relay, because an athlete goes for 2 kilometers, and then the second athlete goes another 2 kilometers, the third and the fourth, and it's a mixed relay. That means a man, a woman, a man and a woman finishes the race. So Kenya managed to retain the title this year in Belgrade, Serbia. So I think the 2-kilometer race is good for all the athletes who are competing, but after the series, of course, when we are doing maybe the national, that is the federation is able to get a strong team that will be able to compete in that event. That is mixed relay. It's normally 8 kilometers. Mulemi? Yeah. Of course, the course starts, it's a flat course that athletes are going through some loops, and then of course after that they will go down and then start climbing a hilly course. It's a hilly section that goes all the way up, where the fans are able to follow from afar, from far, and then they'll take another about 500 meters, which is flat at the top of the hill, then come down about 200 meters, about 150 meters to 200, and then of course head to the finish line. That is the course for this third cross-country series today in Iten. Yeah. Mulemi?
And of course on your screen is the 2 kilometers mid course. And of course, it's here at the Iten grounds. You look at the course, they do one lap of this one, a serious one. In Machakos, we witnessed the relay where we had the men combine with the women for this one. But this time round, the ladies will compete, rather the women will compete differently. The men will compete differently. With the best finishers, of course, will be selected for the next one. And we are live from the Iten grounds in Elgeyo Marakwet. Quite some distance, close to 300 kilometers from the Kenya's capital, that is Nairobi. We are talking about 487 kilometers from Nairobi, and it is the third meet of the National Cross Country Series. We were in Machakos, we traveled all the way to Kapsokony, and now we are in Iten, and it is a very, very beautiful place. My first time here, I'm really enjoying. They've told me the stories about St. Patrick's Iten. I think I need to visit that school. And of course, this is Iten, and it is live. We're ready for the second the third event of the day. It is the 2 kilometers loop women race, and I'm looking at this lineup. Quite a rich field of athletes. 75 in total in this beautiful town of Iten. You can see it is packed. It is filled with everyone loves athletics on this side of the earth. Everyone loves athletes. Of course, this place has been famous because of the names that have come out of this area, and those are the athletes that are going to compete in the 2 kilometers loop race that will be happening in a bit. And Bernard is very excited about this event, and he just looks at the starting lineup and is like, yes, this is where it is, because from here the best performers will be selected. And of course, on the right side of the screen is the 2 days program. We started with the 6 kilometers under 20 women race at exactly 9 a.m. followed by the 8 kilometers under 20 men race at around 9:50, the one that just ended couple of moments ago, before the 2 kilometers loop women race that starts in a bit, before ushering in the 10 kilometers senior women race and the 2 kilometers men and the 10 kilometers men at around 12:10 p.m. But right now we are ready for the loop race women category 2 kilometers. Bernard.
Yeah, they are almost starting the race, but of course you were talking about this is the third series, and of course after this athletes will be heading to Bomet. They have about 3 weeks to train for that race and then head to Olkalau, and of course the last series will be in Kisii County, that is in January. And of course after that we go to the county competitions and then to the regional level and the discipline forces, and of course we end the competitions with the national level, where all the teams who have been competing in the regional level will be able to meet in Ruiru, that is Kiambu County. And we have 2 gold level races, Mulemi, that is the Great Chepsaita Run, and we have the Lobo, the Sirikwa Classic in Lobo village. Of course the Sirikwa village has been there. It is we are going now for the 4th edition, but of course Chepsaita Run, which was last year a bronze labeled World Athletic event, it has been upgraded to gold level, and it's happening on December 7th, and the athletes are also preparing to compete in this race. And then the Lobo event, that is a Sirikwa Classic, will take place in February. We are going to, of course, we are going to finish the event, of course, the cross-country season with the Lobo event. Mulemi?
I've seen the likes of Vivian Chebet in the lineup, and I remember watching her in Ruiru last year during the National Cross Country Championships, and she had a very good race. She's trying out in this one, the 2 kilometers loop women race, and of course watch out for the likes of Sharon Jeruto, Karen Cherotich Kiplimo, and of course we have from France, Yves Jade, born in 2006. She'll be competing in this one. She also wants to post a very fast time and ensure that she is in Team France for the World Cross Country Championships. Gladys Kandie is also here, the home girl. Vivian Jerotich Kipkorir, Agnes Lagat, Naomi Jeruto Kimeli, Jepkruig Kurgoi, Jepchirchi Leonita. This is a home girl. She's in her home turf. Can she perform magic in this 2 kilometers loop women race? Francisca Jesang, Sharon Chemtai, Maureen Chepkirui, Betty Jesang, Nkang Lokure Perina of ART. Remember, we've seen the refugee athletes. They are under the tutelage of former Olympic champion Janet Jepkosgei, and all things that are happening here are coming courtesy of Athletics Kenya, and we are live on every social media platform. This is the 3rd leg of the National Cross Country Series. We were in Kapsokony last weekend. We went to Machakos, 400 kilometers away, and now we are in 10, ready for this one. They've been ushered in and we are ready for start. The crowd looks anxiously waiting to see who's going to emerge victorious, and we start. Quite a few stumbles there. Oh, not a perfect way to start for some of these athletes, but those who managed to get through have now decided, let's take this course as it is. It's going to be competitive, and it is live from the Iten grounds. It's the 2 kilometers loop women race. Remember, the best performers here will be selected to go and represent their respective disciplines in the relays. It is now live, and we are ready for action. And the start.
Of course, Mulemi.
A little bit. Yes, Bernard.
Mulemi.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, among those who are leading, we have Jed. I don't know how that first name is being pronounced. Yeah, Vas Jed from France. She's competing in the 2 kilometer loop. The name is really hard.
Vas Jed from France, born in 2006, and she wants to make a mark here. She also wants to show the home teams, the home crowd, that she has what it takes to run through this one and of course compete. Yeah.
And she must have been training here in Iten. I told you many athletes, foreign athletes are training here in Iten in preparation for various races. And of course I can see also 800 meters specialists like Naum Glorious and Naomi Korir. They are in the leading pack. They are among the top 7 athletes actually. Those are specialists in 800 meters. I told you earlier that this race attracts everybody. Even a marathoner can compete here in this race. Of course, now the 800 meters are maybe seeking endurance here, and at the same time using the race in preparation for various events ahead. They are seeking endurance and speed at the same time.
Remember, this race has no second chances because it's just one serious, furious, fast lap. If you are in, you are in. If you are out, you are out. It's the 2 kilometers loop women race, and now you can see those who are already taking the lead are, of course, headed towards getting it done here. And you can see it's not about pacing right now. It's about placing yourself in a very strategic area. And of course, we'll be having the award ceremony in a bit. And Nelvin Jepkemboy currently leading the race. Jepkemboy from North Rift. And of course, the award ceremony is ongoing. And we'll be heading there in a bit. Nelvin Jepkemboy now taking
of course Mulemi
gruesome course. Yes.
Nelvin trains here in Iten under Kipran, the Kipran management, one of the new managements here in Iten. So I think she knows what she's doing. She's taking advantage of the home ground crowd and of course the weather conditions today.
Yes, talking about the weather conditions, it's 22 degrees at the moment, really, really cold. And of course, the course has been modeled in a manner that the crowd looks at the course from a bird's eye view, and that makes it even very, very unique. And Nelvin Jepkemboy, who trains here, actually showing the rest of the field how it's done, stretching that lead to around 8-10 meters as they take that gruesome hill, ascending on the hill. As we on your screens right now is the award ceremony for the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race, and that is Kevin Kiprop, winner of 30,000 Kenya shillings, being awarded there by the treasurer, Athletics Kenya, Mr. Peter Angwenyi.
And of course, Mulemi, Peter Angwenyi, together with the Chicago Marathon champion, John Korir, are the ones who are awarding the winners. John Korir won Chicago Marathon last month.
You talked about John Korir, who was in Kapsokony. He's here in Iten to witness every single race on this day. So if you're joining us, these are live images from Iten Sports Ground, the home of champions. This is the 2 kilometers loop women race, and those are the winners of the podium finishers, sorry, in the 8 kilometers under 20 men, Kelvin, Cornelius, and of course, Mr. Alamasi, who came in second. And that is Nelvin Jepkemoi still in the lead. Nelvin Jepkemoi, born in 2001,
and of course,
23rd of August.
And of course, we see Naomi Korir. Naomi Korir is now chasing the winner, the leading athlete, Melvin. So that is Naomi Korir coming second. I hope she will be able to maintain that, because the third athlete looks strong also. So we hope, and of course it's now a sprint finish. Mulemi.
It's Naomi Korir closing in Delvin Jepkemoi. As you said, it's going to be a sprint finish. It's going to be very, very close. And now Naomi Jepkemoi now takes charge of matters here. She gets to the home stretch. Nelvin Jepkemoi could not just hold on to the lead.
Korir.
And it is Naomi winning the 2 kilometers loop race women category. Nelvin coming in second. She timed it perfectly, ensured that she did what she did it just exactly as she wanted, and timed it to perfection to win this one. Nelvin Jepkemoi coming in second place, and that signals the end of the 2 kilometers loop women race. So Nelvin Jepkemoi second, Naomi in third. That is Naomi Korir. She looks really happy after this. Has been a great win, a huge one, of course. Naomi Korir, the winner. Nelvin Jepkemoi coming in second, and of course in third place, Cynthia Chesebe coming in third. Cynthia Chesebe, of course, of KDF, born in 1998, very experienced, of course. She came in third. Naomi Korir winning. Nelvin Jepkemoi in second, and Cynthia Chesebe in third. Those are the track of the field officials, of course, guiding the athletes through as they finish this 2 kilometers loop women race. It's been really fast. We'll get the timings in a bit. And of course, we'll be waiting to hear what they have to say, and I'll be handing you over to Charity to speak to Naomi, Nelvin, and Cynthia Chesebe, who finished in number 1, 2, and 3 respectively. Over to you, Charity.
Thank you so much. I'm Lemi. I'm joined here by number 1, who is Naomi Korir. Naomi, congratulations. Tulikuwa Kapsokoni pamoja? Ulikuwa Machakos? Oh, yeah. How was Machakos?
Ilikuwa poa. Nilikimbia 2 kilometers relay, but ilinipea experience mzuri. Yeah.
Hiyo experience imechangiaje kwa wewe kuweza kushinda hapa leo?
Ilichangia pakubwa sana, kwa sababu kukuja position 2 kwa timu ya relay ilinipea nguvu sana na ikanipea morale that I can do 2 km. Sijawahi kimbia 2 km. Yeah.
So ni nini ulienda ukafocus na sana kwa mazoezi?
Endurance sana ndo focus hai kwa sababu ni build up season. So niyo ndo imechangia pakubwa sana kwa sababu normally huwa tunakimbia short but kwa sasa tumefocus sana kwa mzunguko mrefu. Yeah.
Kwa track and field tunakuona kwa event gani?
800 meters.
All the best and congratulations. I'm also joined by number 2 who is it Melvin or Delvin? Nelvin, eh? Nelvin, race competition imekuwa vipi kwako?
It's not that easy. Okay, it's tough. It's very competitive, but you have to run the race because unahitaji hiyo experience pia.
Na ninaona kidogo kwa track and field itakuwa vipi kwako?
Itakuwa mzuri because this is my first 2K kwa kimbia cross country kabisa. Kwa nilikimbia 10K and I match position 5. Today 2K nimekuwa position 2 which is the best for me. Yeah.
So hii season yako tunakutarajia nini?
Okay, hii season I'm going to participate in hii season my wish is that niko among the participants of cross country world. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think you need to go to the medical ambulance straight from here for you to be attended. It's so there. Okay. I'm also joined by number 3 who is Sylvia Chesebe. Sylvia, umuhimu wa cross country ni gani kwako?
Okay, cross country imenisaidia kwa sababu ni preparation ya track and field ambayo next season. So inanisaidia kwa speed endurance. Yes.
Tutarajie nini kwako hii season vile tunaanza sasa kufanya build up?
Okay, for now nitakuwa na concentrate na nitakuwa na participate kwa 800. So at least I na gain more experience, especially for speed. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
Those are the 2 kilometer loop women winners. We had Naomi Koril and Sylvia Chesebe saying that this is part of their endurance and speed preparations as they prepare to go and compete in the 800 meters in the track and field. Okay, and then we had Melvin. She's saying that she's hoping to have a fruitful season. During the last time in Kapsokwanyi, she raced in the 10 kilometers race. She finished among the number 5. But now she's happy to have won here at the Home of Champions. Over to you, Mlemi and Rotich, as we prepare for the 10 kilometer senior women race.
Thank you, Charity, as we get ready for the 10 kilometers senior women's race. And those are the winners of the 2 kilometers women's race. On your screens now, Naomi Korir, 6 minutes 42.0 seconds. Nelvin Jepkemboy, 6 minutes 47.8 seconds, coming second. And Cynthia Chesebe, 6 minutes 54.8 seconds, claiming bronze. And now we are ready for the start, the 10 kilometer senior women's race. Watch out for the likes of Sandra Phyllis Chebet. This is going to be a race that will be very, very competitive. The likes of Janet Gishumbi, the likes of Mildred Rono, Vikodi Tuwei, Miriam Chebet, Karen Chebet, Naomi Korir. I don't think she'll be competing in this one. She already did so in the 2 kilometers loop race, winning that one. Bridget Lagat, Peter Kipyegon, Zena Kilimo, Faith Jemutai, Ruth Bosibori, Purich Jelagat, Metrin Jelimo. So it's a rich field of athletes here. Sheila Cherotich also in the race. She represents KDF. So we are ready for the 10 kilometers senior women's race. And of course, as usual, Bernard has something interesting from this lineup.
Yeah. Thanks, Mulemi. Of course, we are waiting to see. Yeah. Mulemi, can you hear me?
Yes, Bernard, I can hear you.
I was saying we have a good lineup here today in Kapsokon. You were really somehow disappointed because we had few athletes competing in the senior women's category, but today we have 155, which is a good move here because we have the likes of Sela Busiene, Masi Kibet, Miriam Chebet, Agnes Chelagat, Mildred Cherotich Rono, Lucy Chepkirui, Judith Cherono, Nora Kipiego, Sharon Chemeli, Sharon Chepkoech, Cecilia Catherine Hansen. That is, I think that's a foreign name. And then we have Lilian Chepkorir Chebi, Winnie Chepchumba Kiplagat. There are so many, 155. And I told you earlier, Mulemi, even a marathoner can compete here. And seeing at the start line, I can see Valerie Chemeli. Valerie Chemeli is one of the athletes who train here in Iten. She is a world beater. She managed to win Frankfurt Marathon in 2019. She has also competed in Berlin Marathon. She has competed in various marathons. And of course, as she comes here today, she's seeking to compete and seek speed. This is speed session for them. Not endurance. The endurance, they normally go for a long run of about 25 to 30 kilometers in terms of seeking endurance. But competing here today, she is seeking to see how her speed will turn up or will turn out when she finishes the race. And you'll find most of the marathoners will always finish at the top 10 or top 15. So that shows that they are good and they are in good shape ahead of various events. Of course, the race is about to start, Mulemi.
And we are ready for the start of this 10-kilometer senior women's race. And we're live from the Iten grounds. We witnessed some good races just before this one. And now we are on. Welcome, it is the 10-kilometer senior women's race. And of course, expect plenty of action in this one. Competition, of course. As athletes try out to see how fast they can. 155.
Mulemi, I have seen Mulemi. I have seen the leading athlete now is Brilliant Chepkorir. She's coming back from maternity. And as you've seen, of course, coming back from maternity, sometimes it's tricky for an athlete. But having seen her leading right now, I don't know if she'll maintain that leading pace. But she trains in Kapsabet. Of course, she won Discovery race. Sometimes she was in 2 years ago. She was in the team that represented Kenya at the World Half Marathon Championships. So she's the one leading right now. I hope she maintains this pace. She has set the pace for the other senior women athletes.
Of course, they are halfway in the first lap of this one. And watch out for the household names in this one.
Of course, we also have Ruguru. Kate, she's called Kate Ruguru. She's running here. She's a marathoner, of course, and she's running here maybe also to seek speed work, some speed work here. In the list also we have Ruth Bosebori Nyangau. Do you remember that name? She used to compete in the 3,000 steeplechase those days.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Yeah, she did very well. She has many titles, and of course, I think she's now doing road races and competing here today again. As we said, she's seeking some speed work here in this event. We also have Catherine Rolin. Catherine Rolin trains in Kapsait under Eric Kimayo. We normally call him Commando. and she's in the name Commando. I understand came from KDF. She used to work at the Kenya Defence Forces, and that name stick until now. He's called Commando. So Catherine Relin trains under him in Kapsait, and she was second in Kapsokwony. I don't know how things will turn out here today. We'll see how she'll be able to compete. Also, of course, I can see also Karen Chebet. Karen Chebet started from Lemotit again, and seeing her competing here is a good plus for her, of course, in terms of preparations of this season ahead of the track events. I have managed to see Eldoret Express. That is Janet Chepkoskei. She's passing by here. She's following up on her athletes. Of course, she's in charge of the refugee team that was here very early in the morning, and she wants to see how the athletes will compete here today.
Also, there are guest athletes in this 10 kilometers. There's Marta Sanchez Hernandez and Celta Castro Noguera. They all have come to Kenya to see if they can actually compete with the local athletes, and we can see they're trying really hard as the athletes navigate through the course, which is beautifully marked. Look at how they are gliding on top of that hill. It's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to see, and you can see the residents here are being treated for free with this kind of entertainment. And of course, we'll be checking out how much these. That is Janet Jepkosgei handing over the winner's check to, that is Chepseba Cynthia, who finished third, to win 5,000 shillings in the 2 kilometers loop women race. A race that was won by Naomi Korir, with Nelvin Jepkemboi coming in second. So Naomi Korir, Nelvin Jepkemboi, and Cynthia Chepseba. That is Nelvin Jepkemboi, the home girl, walks away with 7,000 Kenya shillings. Came in second, and the winner, of course, Naomi Korir. She'll be walking home with 10,000 shillings, and as it is still brilliant. Jep Korir Kipkoech in the lead in this 10-kilometer senior women's race. Jep Korir represents prisons department, and she's been leading from the start and still dictating the pace, and ahead of quite a packed group of athletes as they slow down towards as they start officially the second lap of this 10-kilometer senior race. And looking at how they are pacing, Bernard, what do you think about the likes of Brilliant in this weather right now? Is this going to be faster than it was in Chepsokwony?
Hey, it's Kapsokwony. It's Kapsokwony. Seeing, of course, Brilliant. She has led for the first lap, and she's still leading in this lap as we go for the second lap. And seeing Brilliant in the lead, having come back from maternity leave, I must say she's a strong athlete, and she must have been preparing for this race. Of course, in the mix is Cynthia Chemngeno, who trains in Keringet. She was in the World Athletics cross-country championships in Belgrade, Serbia. She's also there in purple. We have also Catherine Relin, who has a bronze. She has a bronze medal in the World Road Running. And seeing such athletes maintaining that position. Of course, we must mention Brilliant, who is coming back from maternity. She changed training base from of course from Iten to Kapsabet. She's now training in Kapsabet, and you can imagine maybe the long run she does at the tea plantations in Nandi Hills. Maybe that's why we are seeing this today. Let's see if she will be able to maintain up to the last kilometer, if she'll be able to win this race today. Remember, the race is very much competitive here.
From Kapsokony to Iten, Brilliant Jepkorir Kipkoech coming, just coming from a maternity leave, and she's currently leading Karen Jebet Kiplagat and Cynthia Jemutai in this one. It's still very close to call, and you can always say that these athletes have what it takes to carry the day. Neither is a favorite in this one, but at the moment, Brilliant Jepkorir in the lead, Karen Jebet Kiplagat in second, and Tai in third. And of course, also joining them is Christine Joki. She's still up there. Catherine also in the picture. So it's still very close to call. Brilliant Cynthia Jemutai, and of course Brilliant Karen Jebet. This is going to be a race that will be determined maybe by the sprints. And of course the guest athletes, the likes of Marta Sanchez, Aleta Castro, Guerra, been invited by Athletics Kenya, but still brilliantly doing her work, leading that pack of athletes that actually is steering away from the rest of the league. So that's brilliant first place as they jump the hay. Brilliant looks really strong in these early stages of this race. Cynthia Jemutai also in the leading pack, and Christian Joki from North Rift. They're being cheered on as they head towards the hillside of the course. The coach is having a busy day here in Iten today. They know what's at stake. They know exactly what these athletes need to do to endure and, of course, get the job done. They're being cheered on.
Of course, Mulemi, we have to mention also Priscilla Biwott. Priscilla Biwott, I think she's just passing where you are right now. She has been able to compete in various races, and she represented Masters. She represented Masters team, I think, in South Africa. So she's really doing well. I don't know. I think she must be 50-something years. We need to find out. But she's one of those inspiration athletes. She has been doing all the races that normally happens in this North Rift region.
Brilliant Jepkorir Kipkoech still dictating the pace here. Karen Jebet also staying put together with Christine Joki. It is the 10-kilometer race that is currently underway here at the Iten Sports Ground. And for the first time, we're bringing you live action from this side, courtesy of Athletics Kenya. And you can follow us on our social media platforms. And this is the fourth race of the day. Remember, after this, we'll have the 2-kilometer loop for men before ushering in the 10-kilometer senior men's race that will close the day. So if you're joining us, this is the 10-kilometer women race with brilliant Jepkorir Kipkoech, born on 1st of March 1995, leading the way as they descend the hill.
Yes, Mulemi. Let me cut you short. I think also we have athletes competing tomorrow. We have New York Marathon. This is the last Abbott Marathon. Abbott Marathon majors in the series. We have 6 of them. We normally start with Tokyo Marathon, then we have London Marathon, Boston Marathon, Berlin Marathon, Chicago Marathon, and of course the last one is New York Marathon. And they will be competing tomorrow. We have big names competing tomorrow. Of course, in the men's category, we have Evans Chebet. Evans Chebet has won there before. Geoffrey Kamworor, he has won there before. Albert Korir, he has won there before. And of course, we have Albert Kipchumba. Is he the dark horse? Is he going to surprise the field? And when you look at the women's category, we have the defending champion, Helen Obiri. We have Helen Obiri, of course, has a bronze medal from the Olympic medal from the Olympics in Paris this year. And we have also another winner who won 2022, that is Sharon Lokedi. We have Vivian Cheriot, the 2018 London Marathon champion. We have Sheila Chepkurui, the Kericho-based athlete, who was also, I think she was second or third in Berlin Marathon last year. So these are the athletes who are going to compete tomorrow in of course the major marathon, but we have other athletes competing in races like Istanbul who are competing tomorrow, and other small races in Europe. So we have a lot of events going on this weekend, and of course, as you can see, we have about 10 athletes stuck together. I can see Joy Cheptoyek from Uganda. She's in the leading pack. That is Joy Cheptoyek, and of course the leading athlete, Brilliant Chepkorir, who is coming back from maternity leave. We have Cynthia Chepngeno, the Keringet-based athlete, who is also in the leading pack, and then Catherine Relin, of course, who has a bronze medal from the World Road Running Championships. And we have about 8 athletes stuck together. Will it be a sprint finish, Mulemi?
It seems it will be very close to call by the way.
10, yeah, Mulemi, I'm told there are 10 athletes. 10 athletes stuck together.
10 athletes all competing for the first 3 positions. But then the 10 athletes know that they are going to get something at the end of the day, Bernard.
Yes. Of course, they are being rewarded. The 10 athletes are being rewarded from position 1 to 10, and it's good money. It's good money. I told you, you might have sold a chicken in Kapsabet and came here to compete today, and then you're going back home with about 50 for the winner 50,000, and then of course second athlete 40,000. You see now Relin has taken the lead. She has broken the monotony there, and she's now taking the lead, and Cynthia Chepngeno is following closely. Remember I told you Cynthia was at the World Cross Country in Belgrade, Serbia, where Kenya made history by winning, by taking the first 5 positions in the women category. So she was among those who made history. Of course, she had an injury but managed to finish in 17th position. But we had the first 5 athletes, they all came from Kenya. And it was really inspiring. Now Rolin has taken the lead and broken that monotony, and then we have now 4 athletes leading with the chasing group now following closely. The three athletes following closely. Mulemi.
Catherine Relin, born in 2002, 5th of October. Of course, she'll be celebrating her birthday in the next 3 days, and she knows that this is one of the things that can make her celebrate her birthday in a perfect way. For the first time, we've seen Sandra Phyllis Chebet in this. The athlete from police, a very experienced athlete, now in the top 3 for the first time in this race. Brilliant has just fallen a little bit behind, and that shows you that the race is slowly taking shape. On your screen right now is Catherine Relin. This is Catherine Relin, Sandra Phyllis Chebet. Now the crowd is getting excited. Instead of selling on the other side of the market, they have actually now decided to come and watch. Catherine Relin, as they head towards the gruesome part of this one. It's been something that the athletes have taken with positivity. Athletes from South America coming in this one. Of course, they've been invited by Athletics Kenya, but now it is Catherine Relin, Sandra Phyllis Chebet, who's gonna finish top. This is now down to 4. Of course, Marta Sanchez Hernandez and Celta Castro Noguera, and that is Marta Sanchez Hernandez, born in 1995, a guest athlete coming to compete here in Nairobi, in Iten, sorry, in this 10-kilometer senior women's race, the third leg of the National Cross Country Series. Sandra Phyllis Chebet, Relin, still battling out in the top 5 positions. This is the 4th event of the day. Of course, we started with the under 26 and 8-kilometer races for both men and women, and then we had the 2 kilometers loop race for women. A capacity crowd here at the Iten grounds witnessing this third leg of the National Cross Country Series. And if you're joining us, of course, we're heading towards the last lap of this 10-kilometer senior women race. Catherine Relin now dropping to 3rd. Relin now deciding to take the lead once more. Relin, remember, is from the North Rift. It's now down to 5. Brilliant, who led for quite some time, has fallen off the leading pack, and now it's Relin leading.
Mulemi.
Yes, Bernard.
I will tell you, Relin trains in a high altitude area, which you can also compare it. It's more higher than Iten, that is Kapsait. Kapsait is about, I was shown actually, there's a place they normally they go up to 3,300 feet. 3,300 meters above the sea level. So for her, I think she has come a little bit lower and competing here. You can see there are 5 of them who are stuck together. And seeing her competing here, I think she knows what she's doing. And of course, if you talk about Cynthia trains in Keringet. Keringet can also be compared to Iten. It's a very cold place. So we want to see how these athletes will be able to break in the last lap as they head for the finish line.
Of course, Cynthia Chepngeno representing KDF, and Catherine Relin, North Rift. And as you said, Catherine trains in a higher altitude area. Remember, Iten is around 2,600 meters above sea level, so not really bad, but it's still enough.
And of course, we have Sandra Phyllis.
Yes, Sandra Phyllis. She's been struggling of late, Bernard.
But having moved to the road races, I think she's doing well right now. I think she's now preparing she'll be competing in Honolulu Marathon in December. and she comes from Lemotit camp. She's one of those inspiration athletes to the young upcoming athletes. I've seen also Valerie Valerie Chemeli. She has just passed where you are, and she's also another marathoner training. I think she has a marathon in the near future, but that is why I was telling you this race helps even the marathoners to gauge their performance and see how they compete and how they will be able to fine-tune ahead of their races.
Gladys Kipkoech moving to third, representing KDF, and she's also timing, waiting to see if she can actually have this one, see this one through. Remember, she was in fifth, now she's in third place, but then Raylin still reigning in this one. She's still we've not really talked despite everything that is happening. Christine Joki has stayed there. She's still in the top 5 as we speak. Christine Joki right now on the right side of your screens. And that is Raylin Joki, Cynthia. They're all battling out. It's now down to 5 with Raylin leading. She looks really composed. You can see the long strides she's taking. She's like, I got this one. I know what it takes. Christine Joki in third. And of course, Gladys Kipkoech in 4th place at the moment. And the crowd getting excited, cheering them. And Raylin now falls to 3rd place. And Christine Joki now takes the lead. Sandra Phillips, of course, moved to the road races, not in the top 5 in this one, but Raylin now falling to 3rd, Christine Joki in 2nd. She's been very consistent in this race, by the way. Representing the North Rift. And Bernard, a little bit of sunshine. I know you're enjoying.
Yeah, there's a little sunshine here, and with that cold, chilly morning that we had, it's good to have sunshine. And of course, I was telling you about Cynthia. Cynthia, if you see that name Cynthia, it's written Cintia. So I was asking the athlete, why are you called Cynthia? So she was telling me that when they were doing the registration thing, somebody misspelled her name and decided to write CI, Cynthia. So of course she's the Africa cross country champion also, and I think this is her event. She knows how to do it. She represented Kenya at the Africa Championships, cross country championships. She represented Kenya at the World Cross Country Championships in Serbia, and she's here again now, starting the season with the cross country.
And of course, the cross country is in its 3rd leg. Of course, we are in Iten at the moment. We'll go to Bomet, Ol Kalau, then Kisii, before heading for the National Cross Country Championships. But this is Iten, bringing you the 3rd leg of the National Cross Country Series. Look at the crowd, look at the course. It's really, really beautiful. Everything just working out as it should be. And right now, the lead has been taken over by I think it's Linda Jemutai. I'll confirm that in a bit. But Christine Joki is now in 2nd. Gladys in really 2nd place at the moment.
And of course,
Just
Mulemi,
of
as you
course, and the home of champions for nothing. Yes, Bernard.
behind me here, I have a lot of athletes who are standing behind here watching and following the race. I can see Daniel Simiu seated somewhere, watching closely for these new talents that are actually, that's the last lap now that these athletes are going. 5 of them still stuck together. Relin, of course, in the lead. And I was telling you, Mulemi, that there are many athletes seated at a good position. They are able to follow athletes from this position closely. As I can see Daniel Sumiu. I was told Ezekiel Kemboy was around here. And then we have so many other athletes who normally do road races and train here in Iten. I can see Mark Korir. Mark Korir is one of the I think the eldest athletes. I can see Delvin Meringor, who represents Romania, but she trains in Kaptagat. She's a Kenyan. She trains in Kaptagat. And there are so many athletes here. And I can see also Purity Gitonga. There are so many. They are following closely the action here. So I think they are enjoying the event, Mulemi. They are enjoying the unfolding event.
It is very difficult to enjoy if you know you always compete. But is Miriam Chemutai now in the lead as we speak? Miriam Chemutai closely followed by Catherine Drelin, sorry. So it's Miriam Chemutai now in the lead. She looks really strong. Gladys in third. Gladys Kipkoech. She's really tried, and then Christine Joki falling to 5th place as they jump the hay. But it is Miriam Chemutai. She looks to be in cruise control as the sun now comes out beautifully. And they now increase the pace. It is Miriam Chemutai in the lead. And the lady from the KDF, Kenya Defence Forces, in cruise control of this one now. Cynthia Chepngeno of KDF, born on 3rd of June 2000. She's leading Karen Relin, and of course her KDF counterpart, Gladys Kipkoech, now comes to 3rd. It's now heading towards the business end of events here, and Cynthia Chepngeno decides this is what I'm going to do. So it is Cynthia Chepngeno, Catherine Relin, and of course Gladys Jepkosgei Kipkoech. And that is Cynthia Chepngeno. Looks really strong, this lady from KDF. Now it's KDF 1, KDF 3, and North Rift. In 3rd place, of course, Gladys Kipkoech. It is Gladys Kipkoech in 3rd, born in 1996. So she has enough experience to know what to do on this course. And Cynthia Chepngeno
Mulemi
and Catherine Relin still
Mulemi.
in 1-2. Bernard.
Yeah, Mulemi, now the crowd is now moving towards the other side of the field. They want to watch closely how this race will unfold, because we have 3 athletes stuck together. 3 athletes stuck together. We don't know who will win the race.
So the battle is between Catherine Relin, Cynthia Chepngeno, and Gladys Kipkoech. As you predicted, it's going to be a sprint finish in this one because they are very close to each other.
And of course, the two athletes now, of course, Relin and I know them. They train in a high altitude area because Cynthia trains in Keringet, that is in Nakuru County, and then we have Relin training in Kapsait, also another high altitude area. So seeing them running today this way, it means they had prepared for this race and they really wanted to win the race. Remember, Relin was second in Kapsokwony, which is also another high altitude area.
Cynthia Chepngeno in the lead, Karen Relin in second, and of course Gladys Kipkoech in third place, the front runners. And of course the favorites to lift the 10-kilometer senior women race. So it's the Chepngeno, Relin, Kipkoech. That is Cynthia Chepngeno descending the hillside. And now she'll be fancying her chances, but then Gladys Kipkoech steams away from Cynthia Chepngeno, and Cynthia ain't relenting. She decides to respond, and so is Relin. And now it will be very, very interesting as they head towards the home stretch. So currently in the lead is Cynthia Chepngeno. Gladys burst out fast, but she could not just maintain that pace. But then it is Cynthia Chepngeno from KDF stretching that lead just ahead of Catherine Relin of North Rift, and they're being cheered home. It is Cynthia, Catherine, Glad in that order. But then Cynthia decides, this is my race. She's gonna win the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Relin falling to third, and it is Gladys Kipkoech finishing second, just about
Mulemi, I told you it will be a
Catherine
sprint
Relin.
Mulemi, I told you it will be a sprint finish for these athletes, and you've seen it. Maybe from 150 meters they started sprinting for the finish line.
Yes, Cynthia Chepngeno, winner of the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Gladys Kipkoech coming in second, and of course Catherine Relin, who just led for most parts of this race, couldn't just make it, and I can see them exchanging niceties here. And it is Cynthia Chepngeno, Gladys Kipkoech, and Catherine Relin in that order. It is the 10th senior women's race. Beautiful, beautiful, that has been decided by a nice sprint from Cynthia Chepngeno.
Yeah, of course, Mulemi
led for most part of the race, couldn't just hold on.
Yeah,
yes,
of course, Mulemi, seeing these athletes running well, we have coaches running around here. They are very happy to see how the athletes have finished these races. And of course, coming in now is Brilliant. I told you Brilliant is coming back from maternity. And we have Cynthia Chepngeno, the winner. And I was telling you that she went to the World Cross Country Championships with an injury. She had an injury. She picked an injury, actually, during that race. And she finished at number 17. And of course, she's coming back well, having won here today. That shows that she's doing very well. She also won the 5,000. It was there was a race in Machakos a day before the cross country. She won the 5,000 meters race, and seeing her winning here today, it's really encouraging for these athletes, and that shows that they've really trained and worked hard for this event. So the coaches are here. They are very happy to see their athletes finishing these races in various positions. That means they had prepared for these races. I can see athletes finish. I can see Valerie. Valerie has finished the race very well. I told you Valerie is coming back. She's a marathoner. Ketwa Ruguru is a marathoner. Also Karen Chebet, Sela Busiene. There are so many athletes here. And as we wait for Charity to conduct the interviews, Mulemi, how can you describe the women's race, the senior women's race today?
Exactly what we expected from the onset when we said that we were going to see a sprint finish in this one. And of course, it came to happen with just I was impressed with Gladys Kipkoech, who for most parts of the race didn't show signs that she was going to finish on the podium, but then when it came to the last kilometer, she decided to come towards the first. She came into the first pool of athletes, and there you go. She went and decided, I'm gonna finish on the podium, sprinting and finishing second in the 10 kilometers race. This was really impressive, and I know if at all she timed her race nicely, she might have just piped Cynthia Chepngeno. But then Charity will be talking to Cynthia, Gladys and Catherine. Let's hear what they have to say after emerging first, second and third in the 10 kilometers women category. Over to you, Charity.
Thank you so much, Mlemi and Rotich. I'm joined here by the women 10-kilometer winners. We have Cynthia Chepngeno. Cynthia has won her first cross country series for this season. Cynthia, imekuwa vipi kwako? Nyuma kulikuwa na ushindani mkali sana. Ulikuwa na wasiwasi kidogo?
Yeah, nilikuwa na wasiwasi kwa sababu hii ni first cross country this season.
So vile umekimbia hapa leo, pengine ukirudi mazoezi unataka kuangalia kufocus na nini sana, ni nini umefeel uja perfect kidogo kwa mazoezi yako, na hii season tunatarajia nini kwako?
After hii race naenda kustayarisha hasa kwa side ya speed, naenda improve speed work. Sijajua sasa hapo mbele.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
Tuko na pia number 2 who is Miriam. Tafadhali njoo hapa. Tuko na Miriam Chebet. Miriam, nimeona umekimbiza Catherine. Catherine, njoo karibu pia. Nimeona umekimbiza Catherine. Nini ilikusukuma ukaamua lazima usukume Catherine?
Niliona naweza ingia number 2. Niliona venye anaenda kidogo, nikasema nikachipa moyo, lazima ndafunga.
Ni pengine ni makosa gani alifanya ndio ukajua hapa lazima nimpite?
Ana makosa, hako sawa.
Aha. Hii season vile umeweza kukimbia hapa leo, pengine tunatarajia nini kwako? Tutakuona kwa maybe long distance races ama ni road running?
Nitangangana because hii ni first season yangu ya cross country, ndaenda kutia tena bidii ili nisonge mbele vizuri.
Thank you so much. I'm also joined here by Catherine Relin. Catherine has finished number 3. Catherine was second at Kapsokwonyi, which was held last week in Busia County. Catherine, nimeona umeweza kukimbizana pia na Miriam. Pengine ni nini una feel kwa mazoezi ndio ukirudi utaenda urekebishe ndio usipitwe tena hivyo?
Nikirudi kwa mazoezi, kwanza sikuwa natarajia ndakuwa top 3. Last 3 weeks nilikuwa long run 38. So na prepare now long marathon. Ndio nimeona nimetaramuka kidogo, speed imetaramuka kidogo. Yeah.
Pengine utakimbia cross country ingine as part of your preparations?
Next cross country naona vile mwili itakuwa ndaenda. Yeah.
Umepanga race yote ile unaanza nao season?
Sina race yote sai, maybe next year marathon. Yeah, na prepare marathon now.
All the best and congratulations.
Santi.
Those are the winners for the 10-kilometer race for the senior women. We had Cynthia Chepngeno and Miriam Chebet competing their first cross country in this season and being able to finish in the podium. Miriam gave gave Catherine a chase, and she was able to snatch the second position from her. Catherine is saying she still needs to work on her speed and a bit of endurance, though she didn't expect to be able to finish among the top 3, but she's happy so far. Over to you, Mlemi and Rotich, as we wait to do an interview with the events director.
Athletes team streaming in to finish the 10-kilometer senior women's race that was won by Cynthia Chepngeno, who's expressed her delight in winning this one. In second place, of course, Gladys Kipkoech of KDF, and of course Catherine Relin. So Cynthia Chepngeno, 34 minutes, 27.4 seconds. Gladys Chepkoech, 34 minutes, 28.5 seconds. And of course, Catherine Relin came in third, 34 minutes, 29.7 seconds. So these are the winners. And of course, more interviews on the other side. Over to you, Charity. As we are waiting for Charity, who will be speaking to the events director, Mr. Tanui. So Charity, over to you.
I'm joined here by the events director, Mr. Kennedy Tanui. Mr. Kennedy Tanui, you've had the privilege of organizing so far 3 cross countries in this season. We had the first one, which was Machakos. Now we went to Kapsakwanyi last week, and now we are here in Iten. Perhaps what are some of the challenges that you faced during this preparation?
First, thank you very much because of this opportunity. It has been a challenge. One, first of all, you find that the 3 cross countries have been held in different what we can call geographical areas. 2, the backgrounds of athleticism in the 3 different places vary, and you find out that as we come to this place here, the biggest challenge here has been crowds in Iten. To manage 1,000 people in a cross country is such a very hard thing. This is more of a marathon than a cross country, but you find out that the officials here and the input that has been put here is very amazing. The fans are very amazing. They have turned up in large numbers to watch. In fact, they have closed the nearby market that is just adjacent to this stadium to come and watch, and that is very good. In terms of the technical input around here, first of all, we want to say that North Rift is very, very endowed in terms of technical officiating, in terms of the resources that are here. We have put all the best to ensure that cross country is here. This is the home of marathoners, home of all the road runners that you hear in Kenya, and they are now testing their speed with this kind of a very beautiful lawn and a few challenges that are here to make sure that they load their speeds and everything that pertains to it. This has been the very best of the best that we have had today.
Yesterday we had a challenge of athletes coming up a bit late for the registration. What would you like to advise them?
First of all, as it is the rule, is that we must pick pips for competitions a day before the championship, at the eve of the championships, because of very many things. One, it is an anti-doping regulation that we can have a day for what we call contact or targeted testing, and 2, to make sure that we plan for the next day in terms of resources and everything that numbers have, like like hydration and all those things. So we find out that all athletes must collect at least by 6 p.m. in the evening. But you find out that in Iten, it is another story. They will always come up to and including midnight, which to us was a very big challenge. But we had to handle the crowds. We gave them latitude of time. We extended the collection time, but only to make sure that the numbers that were here are catered for. So it is a challenge, but you want to make sure that in the forthcoming events, we can even have more than one collection center. If it's far withdrawn like these ones, we can have another center to collect in a center like Eldoret and others in Iten. So we'll make that arrangement, but it's expensive as such. Again, handling 2 centers is very expensive in terms of resources and also monetary value.
We have more events this month. Perhaps if you could brief us a bit about them.
We are going to Longonot mid of this month for the mountain trail run this month, and at the end of the month also we shall be in Bomet for the 4th cross country, which is also the same as this one, as this is the season. So we want to prepare, and the coming month we are opening with Chepsaita on 7th, which is a gold level cross country, and we've done a lot of registration again. The same challenge in Iten is the same there. So we want to welcome everybody to these events. Athletics Kenya is proud of you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tanawi. We also have the Iten cross country also attracted a number of international athletes. Kindly tell us your name and how was the experience over here?
Hello, my name is Cecilia, and it was tough today, but it was also fun to race in Iten. Yeah.
What race are you preparing for?
So I'm preparing for cross country in Denmark, and then I'll try to find a half marathon in the spring in Spain.
Judging from your performance here today, what are you going to target in your training?
I think a mix of like having fun and training hard. I had a baby 13 months ago, exactly on this date, so getting back in shape is just fun. Yeah.
Happy birthday to your baby.
What?
Happy birthday to your baby.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We also have another. Kindly tell us your name and your inspiration to run today.
So my name is Marta Sanchez from Spain, and I'm really happy to be here. It's my third time in this year, so Kenya for me it's a place to perform, to reach another level, and I'm really glad that you organize this for us and we can join your community.
For this season, what are you doing the build up here? Which race are you preparing for?
I'm a triathlete, swim, bike, run. So my next race is in 1 month in Australia, and I'm racing more long distance.
Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Over to you, Mulemi, as we continue with the next race.
And we are on for the second last event of the day, the 2 kilometers loop men race. And this one is also a race that will provide fireworks. Looking at how it's been lined up, the likes of Kamar Etiang, Nicholas Kibet, Felix Kipchirchi, Robert Kingetich, Alan Ruto, Lemayan, Cornelius Kipketer, Vincent Roy, Alan Kipiego. Now, this is going to be very, very, very interesting. And of course, it's fast and furious. I can see also from the master side, the likes of Cornelius Kimutai. But then, these athletes, 1, 2 furious laps. Bernard, if you can hear me. And of course, as the race continues, we'll be heading over to the podium to see who is being awarded. And that is Relin, winner 20,000 shillings after finishing third in the 10 kilometer senior women's race. Of course, the second will be earning 30,000 shillings and the first 50,000 Kenya shillings. Gladys Kipkosgei, 40,000 shillings for coming in. Not 30 as initially indicated. And then the winner, Cynthia Chepngeno, 50,000 Kenya shillings.
Mulemi.
Yes, Bernard.
Of course, this is a 2 kilometer loop, and if you can see and you can watch, the leading pack now is Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who is leading, and Fanuel Kipkoech, who was also in the under 20. And of course, there's another athlete who has just surged forward. Maybe you can confirm the bib number so that we can know who the athlete is. But seeing the two athletes in the lead, you remember Fanuel was also representing Kenya at the World Under 20 Championships in Lima, Peru. And then Wanyonyi, of course, is the Olympics champion in 800 meters. So, this is a one-way race. You just go, it's a one loop. That is a 2 kilometer loop. And of course, as we said, it's being used by the federation to maybe to select the best team that will be able to represent the country in the upcoming international races. That is, we are able to get the best for mixed relay event. Muremi?
Of course, in Machakos we had the relay. It turned out well, but then Athletics Kenya have done it differently by ensuring that we have the loop races in that the 2 kilometer loop for men and women as they take that ascending area in the course, that is the hill area. It is 2 kilometers loop men race. The second last event of the day before ushering in the 10 kilometers senior men's race.
And again, Mulemi, Fanwell, who is now in the lead, is a Form 4 student at St. Francis Kimuron here in Elgeyo Marakwet. So he has been training, of course, taking advantage of this belt, which is an high altitude area. And he finished fast in Kapsokwony, winning the 2 kilometer loop. Will he be able to maintain this here today? Will he be able to win back to back? So it's really competitive. As you can see, athletes are really want that first, second, third positions. So will he finish in that position? Because remember, of course, Wanyonyi is here also. Of course, he has gone to the second place. Maybe you can, Mulemi, you can confirm who is leading.
Of course, Fanuel, a Form 4 student, was third in Kapsokony last weekend and currently leading this race here. He looks really strong, being cheered by his coaches, his fans, and of course everyone else here in the stadium. Remember, we are live from the Iten grounds, bringing you the third leg of this Athletics Kenya National
and of course
Series.
And of course Wanyonyi is doing what he knows best.
Very interesting. Bernard,
I'm saying Wanyonyi is doing what he knows best. The sprint finish, he is now on the lead. He's now leading. Remember, he has started celebrating. He has started celebrating in this event, and of course, as you can see, there's another athlete also coming up so well. Things are changing here. Mulemi.
And of course, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, the Olympic champion in the 800 meters, ran a tactical race. He's tiring, but then stiff competition from Kamare Tiang. But then Emmanuel Wanyonyi and Kamare Tiang, who wins it? Emmanuel Wanyonyi just edges Kamare Tiang. This has been really fast and unpredictable, Bernard.
Yeah, Fanwell was, of course, he won in Kapsokony. Now he has become third. The winner here is Olympics champion, 800 meters, Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who has won today. So many athletes doing here well. I've also seen Noah Kibet, who has been training in the US. Of course, seeing Etienne coming from back about 20 meters all the way to finish second is really encouraging. And of course, we will be talking to Wanyonyi and get to know and listen to him what he says in terms of preparation of this race. We have so many athletes here. We can see Kones here, Wilberforce Kones. There are so many athletes. I have seen George Manangoi here. Of course, he's coming back, and the 1500 meters. The 1500 meters athlete. There are so many athletes here. Of course, they are using this race as a build-up in preparations for the races ahead of them. And of course, the winner was Emmanuel Wanyonyi, and then the second athlete was Etienne Kamar, and the third athlete was Fanwell, a Form 4 student at St. Kimuron. So
wow.
We can listen.
In second place was Kamare Tiang. What do you think about
you are ready for
the
interviews?
But then, before we listen to Kamare Tiang, we can go over to Charity to hear what she has to say. She's speaking to the winner, Emmanuel Wanyonyi. So we await for Charity to speak to Emmanuel Wanyonyi, winner of the 2-kilometer loop men's race. So Charity, if you're ready, you can take it over. And you look at these long queues, it's like they've just begun the races and it's over, Bernard. Well, what's the interest in the loop race? So many participants in this one.
Yeah. For this race, of course, I can also see Moitalel, Moitalel, who does 400 adults here, and I think the interest in this event here, athletes are able to gauge their performance here when they compete. So I want to hand over to Charity so that she can be able to tackle the interviews.
Thank you so much, Rotich and Mulemi. I'm joined here by the Olympics champion and the world silver medalist Emmanuel Wanyonyi. Emmanuel, race imekuwa vipi kwako?
Race imekuwa poa, nimefurahia kwa kukimbia cross country leo. Kwa cross country inanisaidia kwa build up. Yeah.
Vile tulikuwa tuanzie na wewe uko Kapsokwonyi but you later decided kukuja hapa. Nini ilisukumia hiyo decision?
Si kwa sababu nilikuwa naumia mguu. Sasa kukimbia Kapsokwonyi.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Welcome.
Okay. I'm also joined by Etiang Kumar. Etiang, nini umefanya tofauti kwa hii mazoezi leo? Nimeona umeanza kukimbiza hadi Emmanuel Wanyonyi.
In Kapsakwony nilikuwa sawa but nilifika mahali nikashikwa na stitch. So hapa nilijitahidi lakini nilianza vibaya, nilianza na nyuma nikapick pole pole nikikuja. Yeah.
Perhaps kwa the next cross country utakuwa umepata experience gani ile utataka kurudia?
Maybe I can be one of the most athlete winning in that time. Yeah.
Thank you so much and congratulations.
Welcome.
I'm also joined by the World School Cross Country winner in the under 18 category and also E-World at the Kapsokwonyi Cross Country in the 2-kilometer loop. Fanuel Koech. Fanuel, race imekuwa vipi kwako leo?
Kwanza kabisa ningependa kushukuru Mungu ameniwezesha. Sijui nilikuwa nataka hiyo competition kabisa ya kina Wanyonyi kukutana na seniors. Na leo nashukuru nimeona penye niko. Waje hata kama bado niko shule at least nimeona niko vyema. Ndio.
Monday iko hapa, uko na siku moja kabla tuanze mtihani. Matayarisho yako ya shule iko vipi?
Matayarisho yangu ya shule nimejitayarisha vizuri. From Monday niko na English paper 1 na chemistry paper 1. So niko na tayari na niko na nitapita. Ndio.
Unaweza kubalance aje mbio na masomo?
Saa hii sijapiga mazoezi, saa hii nimekuwa tu class throughout. So nilisema tu acha nikuje tukutana hapa hivi na wengine ndio nijaribu penye niko. Ndio.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
That was the 2-kilometer loop winners. We had the Olympic and world silver medalist Emmanuel Wanyonyi in the 800 meters, being the winner in the 2-kilometer loop. He's saying that he was not able to compete at Kapsokwonyi. He had an injury and it felt that it was wise for him to skip that race and come and compete here at Iten. We also had Kumar Etiang, who's saying that during Kapsokwonyi he made some mistakes. He got a stitch, but today he was happy with the decision and also able to finish. And also we have the Form 4 candidate Fanuel Koech also finishing once again at the podium after winning the race in Kapsokwonyi. Over to you, Mlemi, as we start the next event.
And now to the last event of the day, the 10-kilometer senior men's race. A total of 400.
Mulemi, of course, we have a huge number here. We have a lot of athletes,
yes.
More than 400. That is 476. They just want to go. They just want to go. Yes, they just want to go. It will be interesting to see the first 100 meters, how they'll be able to compete.
It looks more like a crowd than competitors.
But remember, a standard cross country, you need to have 800 athletes. So if you have more than 800, then we cancel that event. Oh, and off they go. There they go. You can You
And
can
there
see
they
how
go.
they are running. Yeah.
It looks like you said tomorrow it's the New York Marathon.
And of course leading is Asbel Kiprop. Have you seen Asbel Kiprop? He is the one leading. Asbel Kiprop, the former 15, and of course it's a false
Great
start.
to see
We've been
the
told to
legend
go
Asbel
back.
Kiprop.
That-
And why
that
has
was
it
a
been
big-
recalled?
Are you
Was it a warm up? Was it a warm up, Bernard?
not a warm up, but it is a false start. They have been told to go back, all of them. So, and of course they were ready to tackle the course.
Very interesting way to see what happens here.
They are 476 athletes, and you were telling me earlier that about 300 were locked out of this event.
Yes, 300 were locked out. And this will be very, very interesting because this is a huge number. Have we witnessed this before? Bernard, have you ever witnessed such a huge turnout before?
I have not seen such a huge turnout before in the races that I've covered and that I have attended. This number is big, and we now that takes us back to the motivation part, because I think after the motivation thing, when the athletes are now winning big prizes, that is, everybody wants to compete, everybody wants to run this race. So of course, apart from winning maybe prizes, they want to see how they'll perform as the cross country season starts.
You are ready for the restart of this one. Now it's smooth and it's push and shove. The athletes trying so hard to ensure that they stay within the track, because that's the mistake that happened during the first start of this one. And these are huge numbers. Some of them, the bib numbers are falling off their chests. But then you realize that it is going to be very competitive. And you talked about Asbel Kiprop, Bernard. He's not starting from the front yet again. He started the way he used to start in the 1500 meters, from the back.
Yes, he has decided to start maybe from the back, but it will be a tough affair, because closing that gap it will be a tough affair. You cannot compare it with a track event, because a track event there are few athletes, but here even overtaking an athlete is really tough.
Because you look at some of the names like of Hilary Koech in this one, Michael Kimutai Maiyo, Samuel Sawe, Benjamin Ndiku of police. These are just some of the names that we'll be watching here at the Iten grounds in this event that promises fireworks. It is the 10-kilometer race. Look at that snake-like curve. That shows you that most of these athletes came here not to play but to compete. The last event of the day. Looks like a big one nice winding move. And I'm afraid in this one, if you are not careful, you'll end up finishing even 300, number 300 or 400, because there are so many athletes and all of them are ready to compete. 300 were locked out in this one.
Maybe, Mulemi, you can tell us who are the athletes who are competing here today. Some of the names competing here. Maybe you can tell the viewers some of the athletes competing today in this category.
An interesting name comes from Lebanon, an athlete called Saleh Zieter. Born in 1985, he should be the oldest member, oldest competitor in this one. He's an athlete that is running in this one. I've just seen him pass near the commentary booth, and of course, the likes of Kenneth Kemboy of police, born in 1991. I'm also looking at KDF's Emmanuel Kipchumba. I'm also looking at Amos Chebi, Kiproti Matthew, Solomon Kibiwot. I have to flip the pages because these are huge number. Isaac Kiplangat Koech, Dennis Kibet, of course, it's in. We've talked about Asbel Kiprop, former world champion in the 1,500 meters. Jonathan Komen Kipyegon of Police. We have the likes of Festus Cheruyot. We have the likes of Dennis Kibet and Thomas Kipto Kipchumba. I'm still flipping through the pages. I'm on page number 3. We are not even yet there. I can see from page number 3 we have Asbel Kiprop of Police, of course, born in 1989. They are very, very, very respectable athlete, very respected athlete over the 1,500 meters. We have Asbel I. There is of KDF, another Lebanese athlete called Ali Aldira Kanan is also competing in this one. And then from the right center, we have Julian Rank, born in 1996, is here and he'll be running together with David Kipkoech in this of Police. Isaac Betchebuyo, Anthony Frontera. This is another athlete from France. So you can see this field athletes that are competing. We have others from Lebanon, France. We've seen Spanish, Irish, all competing in this one. There is Moses Kipto of KDF, as Samuel Napio. So Bernard, it's a rich field that has very, very big names. Boniface Kiptarus, Godwin Kimutai, Justice Kimutai, Jaris Chepsor, Shadrach Kipkosgei, Gideon Kipkoech, Vince Vedic Cheruyot. I'm almost there, flipping my 4th page. And then there is Kimutai Ernest, another one from the North Rift, Josphat Kipchirchir, Dennis Cheruyot, Evans Kipkemoi Biwot, and then there is Mike Kipto Kiplagat. And these are just some of the athletes that will be competing in this one. So Bernard, it's a rich field of athletes, and so many of them want to prove a point here.
Yeah, of course, as they come to finish the first lap, we are almost going to the medal ceremony for the 2-kilometer loop, the men's 2-kilometer loop. And of course, we have Fanuel there, Fanuel Koech winning 5,000, and then that is a bronze medalist. And then we have Tian Kamaru was second and Wanyonyi was the winner. Maybe going back to the athletes who are competing here today, I told you about Harrison Wanyonyi. Harrison Wanyonyi is a race walker, and he is competing here today before his walking season starts, because he said he's using this event as part of build-up for this event. So when he competes here, he's able to get some. Of course, he wants to get some. He wants to get some endurance ahead of the walk race. Of course, in December he might have a race to compete in, but he's using this race here today as. So people are wondering, can a race walker run? And he said yes, it's possible, because he wants to compete with the others as he sharpens his skills ahead of the race walk event. So maybe as the athletes are being awarded, maybe Mulemi, how you can see now that curve, how the athletes are now running. It's a beautiful scenery.
Beautiful scenery, looks like a long trek towards the hill or something like that. But then you can see the athletes, they look really, really strong. Some of them are actually showing signs of even bettering their personal best. But then we say that this is a pre-season, of course, and let's see what happens on the other side, because it's the medals, the medal ceremony, and let's see what happens on the side. But So you wait to see what's happening on the podium. The crowd being lifted by this talented group of athletes who are now leading, not really leading, but then competing in the last race of the day. Beautiful images there showing exactly what's happening here at the Iten grounds.
Mulemi, even Mulemi, even as athletes maybe tackle the second lap, that is they are going for the second, that is for 4 kilometers. We want to talk about the next event, because we now have to get ready for the next event. We are almost finishing this. Now, where are we going next?
Of course, afterwards we'll be going to Bomet in the next couple of weeks, and currently leading there is Asbel Kiprono of North Rift, not the Asbel Kiprop we were talking about. This is Kiprono, who
he must be the one who won it. He must be the one who won in Machakos. He must be
the one who won in Machakos, and is here trying to prove a point, ensuring that he wins to his second event of this calendar year. Asbel Kiprop, winner of the 10-kilometer senior men's race in Machakos, and currently leading this Iten leg. You can see him gliding uphill, and he looks really, really strong. Could he be proving a point to someone that this is his race? Maybe. We'll be waiting to see that. Asbel Kiprop, who won in Machakos, is now leading. That is the athlete from Lebanon. And now Vincent Kipto now takes charge of matters here. As they descend the hill, look at how they are doing things here. From over 400 athletes, now it's starting to shape up, Bernard.
Yeah, it's now, we are now separating men from boys.
Yeah. Look at the crowd.
Now we can.
It's a great day of athletics, yeah.
Yeah, true. This is a home of champions, and of course they've positioned themselves in various points so that they can be able to catch the action live from these grounds. Of course, it's our preparations for the better part of the cross-country season, which goes all the way to February. And after this, we are going to Bomet, as you said, and then head to Olkalau, and then, of course, end in Kisii. And I think these events give all the athletes an opportunity to compete in these events in either way. If you are in Bomet and you didn't compete here, you can compete in Bomet. If you are in Olkalau and you didn't come here, you can compete there the other weekend, and of course the Kisii part. After that, we are going to have all the counties doing their trials, of course, and of course for these athletes, they want to train hard and compete here and be able to do to know if they are in good shape to be able to tackle various events across the globe. We have marathoners here competing here. We have long distance athletes. We have those who compete in 5,000, 800 meters, like Wanyonyi was just finished a 2 kilometer loop. So it's an event that builds an athlete as he or she prepares for the next event. And of course, I was saying after the counties event, we'll have the regional events where we'll have all the regional selecting teams. And Mulemi, I will tell you the one that I'll be even interested to see how it will unfold is the North Rift regional event, which will be taking place in Turkana, Lodwar. In Lodwar, Turkana County. So in that area, they normally compete very early in the morning and then late in the evening due to the high temperatures. So, and of course, after selecting their team, they will be able to meet at the national level in February at the Kenya Prisons Training College in Ruiru, Kiambu County. And then we have 2 gold label events. Of course, athletes also are competing here. We have the Great Chepsaita Run, which is happening next month. We have about a month to go. So athletes will also be looking forward to that event. It's a gold level event being promoted from bronze level, and now it's a gold level. And then after that, we'll have the Sirikwa cross country in February, and that will now be almost the tail end of the cross country events, as athletes now will be looking forward to participate in competitions in the track and field events, which starts in March. And it goes all the way to September, where we'll have a team representing Kenya at the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan. So Mulemi, it's a packed season. It is a packed season for athletes, and they have to really train hard for them to perform well in various events that's coming up.
And of course, the athletes will be having several events coming up lined up in the coming weeks, and that is Asbel Kiprop still leading Vincent Kipto and Robert Kiprop Koech in this one, and the distance has been reduced a little bit between the first and second place. That second place, of course, is Robert Kiprop Koech of Police. Asbel Kiprop and Vincent Kipto were neck to neck, but then it is Mr. the 2 Kiprops, but Asbel leading Robert.
Yeah, Mulemi, and of course, as we continue following up the men's senior race, I told you about athletes who are competing tomorrow. I have to mention them once again. The New York Marathon, it's happening tomorrow in US, and we have athletes who are competing there. That's the last race of the 6 major marathons, where the first one was, of course, Tokyo Marathon in March, and then we had London Marathon and Boston Marathon in April, and then Berlin Marathon in September, Chicago Marathon last month, October, and then we have the last one as a New York Marathon. New York Marathon always has a tough course, a very tough course. It can't be compared with Boston Marathon, and athletes will see how we'll be keen to watch how these athletes will compete tomorrow. And just to give you a lineup, like in the men's race, we have Evans Chebet, who was third in Boston Marathon this year, who missed last year to compete due to an injury, and won in 2022. He's going back there, and of course he's eyeing a comeback. He wants to win. Evans Chebet trains with Emmanuel Wanyonyi at the 2 Running Club in Kapsabet. And then go to Albert Korir. Albert Korir trains in Kaptarakwa area, within this Elgeyo Marakwet County. And then we have another athlete, Geoffrey Kamoror. Geoffrey Kamoror won in 2018, and he's going back there. He wants to maybe finish at the podium again. Remember, Geoffrey has been hit by injuries, but this time he said he's in good shape. He wants to run well, and it's a matter of wait and see. And then going to the women's category, we have the defending champion, Helen Obiri. Helen Obiri will be lining up and looking forward to defend her title. There is Sharon Lokedi, also from Kenya, and has been training in Arizona, and she won in 2022. Will she again win this year? We have Edna Kiplagat. They say age is just but a number. Edna Kiplagat at 44, and she is still strong. She is, of course, some of the favorites in that race, top athletes who are competing in that race. And then, of course, we have Vivian Cheriot, the 2018 London Marathon champion, who is also coming back from maternity. She has done some few races, but she has done well, and this is her first major marathon after a long time. And then we have Sheila Chepkirui, who was in Berlin Marathon last year, who was second. So these are our athletes who are competing there. But remember, they also did cross country like what these athletes are doing today. So they also competed in cross country, but of course they are doing marathons tomorrow in the New York Marathon. Mulemi?
The two keep ropes, Robert and Asbel, exchanging niceties there. You can see they know that they're having a very, very healthy lead ahead of the rest, and it's all about trying to maintain that lead, and Robert ushering to Asbel that let me take the lead at this moment. You will have your moments also, and it is the 10 kilometer senior men's race happening here at the Iten grounds. A very, very, very beautiful course here, and you can see they're talking to each other. They are really, really way ahead of the rest of the pack, and coming in third, of course, we'll be getting to see who comes in third. It is coming in third, of course, is John Kibet, if I'm not wrong. But then it's Robert and Asbel in first and second position. Vincent Kipto now in third, but that is Robert Kiprop leading Asbel Kiprop.
And of course, Robert Mulemi, trains he belongs to the camp at the St. Patrick's. You were talking about going to St. Patrick's. So when you go there, you will meet Robert Kiprop. And of course, we have Asbel who won in Machakos, and is here today also seeking to lead and win. So it's a matter of wait and see who will win here today. Mulemi.
Asbel aiming to make it 2 out of 3 races, and is currently in second. Robert Kiprop now leading. Vincent Kipto is in third place. As we head toward the last few laps of this one, it is the 10 kilometer senior men's race, the last event of the day here in Iten. A total of 476 athletes had entered to participate in this one. In the loop race, that is the 2 kilometer loop race, Emmanuel Wenyonyi just piped Kamar
and
to win that one, and that's Robert now in the lead. Yeah, Bernard.
And of course, Mulemi, seeing these athletes running here today, they are all going to get either their personal best if it's your first time. So it can be recorded in your data. Remember, the Athletics Kenya were doing the registration for athletes, all athletes who are competing in various events. So you'll be able to get your time recorded in that data, and it will be easier. It can be compared with what World Athletics has, the World Athletics code. So these athletes, they know they are going to record their time in that data. So it's very important for the athletes, and I think also that has also inspired them to come and compete here today.
Of course, many will be drawing inspiration from their peers, their counterparts, and of course those whom they've been watching. And then there is Asbel Kiprop. Bernard, how do you see him faring on? Now in close to podium finish here in Iten, won it in Machakos. He might also be fancying about his chances in Kisii, Bomet and Olkalau.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see if he will be able to run in Bomet and Olkalau and Kisii. But I think he's a calculative athlete, because he won in Machakos. He did not run in Kapsokwony, but he's here running today in Iten. Is he going to run in Bomet? Of course, we have about 3 weeks of preparations and training. Maybe he'll be able to go also and compete there. But remember, that is South Rift. We have also tough athletes from South Rift who are really waiting for that event, and maybe they didn't come here and they want to compete there. We will also see if we'll be able to head to Ol Kalou and then, of course, end in Kisii. So it will be interesting to see if Asbel will be able to run in the the other 4 remaining, the other remaining, actually 3 races that are remaining in the series.
3 races remaining. Of course, we have the Bomet leg coming in the next 3 weeks. Then we'll have the Kisii and Ol Kalou before culminating it with the National Cross Country Championships in Ruiru in February. But that is Robert Kiprop right now, taking a very, very good lead there, commanding just ahead of Mr. Asbel Kiprop, who was the winner of this race in Machakos and of course walked away with the 50,000 shillings. So there is a possibility that he might walk away with yet another 50,000 shillings or 40,000 shillings if he finishes second. But he looks really, really strong. He might come out with close to 90,000 Kenya shillings at least by the end of the day, having won in Machakos and now here. And the second pool of athletes is quite a distance, and that shows you that these two are destined to win this race. So it is Robert, Asbel, and the crowd on their feet. Nobody has been distracted by anything, but the town is at a standstill, the Iten town. And the Iten sports ground, very, very, very beautiful scenes there. And we are yet to see the best out of these athletes, but they've given us the best up to now. Look at that. The beautiful scenes there. Iten town, the home of champions. This is where they are made. On my right is St. Patrick's Iten, but that's Robert Kiprop leading Asbel Kiprop. Older Asbel Kiprop seem to have dropped off the race.
Mulemi, I think we'll also need to tell the viewers, the athletes that normally train here and they've done well across the world. We have, of course, she's now retired, Mary Keitany. Mary Keitany hails from this county. She has been training here for a long time before she retired. We have Edna Kiplagat, who is in the US now. She was training here. This is her home. We have people like David Rudisha. We have people like Matthew Kosgei, who won a silver medal at the 3,000 steeplechase junior championships in Lima, Peru.
And the likes of Matthew Birir, yes.
Matthew Birir from the other side of that is in almost El Maravin. And then we have
the legendary Ibrahim Hussein.
Of course, yes. And the current champions like Rosemary Wanjiru, who was second in Berlin. She trains here. And then we have Beatrice Chebet, the double gold medalist. She now trains here in Iten. We have Daniel Simiu. We have Irene Cheptai. Irene Cheptai was, I think she was third in Chicago Marathon last month. We have Ella Kiprop, Robert Kiprop, you've seen him here. Kibiwat Kandie. We have Florence Kiplagat, the former Berlin Marathon champion. And of course we have Lorna Kiplagat. Of course she changed her citizenship, but she's a Dutch, but she lives and she has invested here in Iten, Elgeyo Marakwet. We have many athletes who come from this place. We have Emmanuel Korir. Emmanuel Korir, of course, the former 800 meters Olympic champion and world champion. And he started his career here before going to the US, where he managed to further his education and got a degree, came back and managed to also continue training here. So he has been juggling his training between Iten and the US. And those are the athletes that come from this. There are so many. There are so many. Mulemi.
They talked about the rich history of this area as Asbel now leads Robert. Asbel leads Robert as we head toward the business end of this one. Asbel really looks determined to carry the day here.
And of course, Mulemi, you've seen the turnout, the fans, they've taken different positions.
To be honest, I think this is the greatest turnout I've witnessed in a cross-country meet.
Yes, we have all sort of people. I can see a group of white people at the other corner. They want to see how the champions are being made, and of course, we've seen some of them competing here today. They want to have that feel. Of course, Elgeyo Marakwet is one of they promote sports tourism because we have so many foreign athletes coming to train here. Mo Farah used to train here in Iten. We have even Sifan Hassan. I think last year she was here and she was training here. And we have other athletes, so many athletes who are training here and of course preparing for various events across the globe. Mulemi.
Of course, everyone is here in Iten. Everyone who loves athletics is either watching or is here in Iten as we witness the last race of the day. This is the 10-kilometer senior men's race, a race that has attracted over 400 athletes, 470 athletes, and all of them are fighting for top honors here. Remember, the winner walks away with 50,000 Kenya shillings, the second position 40,000 Kenya shillings, and of course the top 10 athletes will all walk home with something. But that is Robert Kiprop now being cheered home. He knows that he has what it takes to win this race. Asbel also trying so hard to ensure that he stays within touching distance of his compatriot. It's all happening here, and the crowd rallying behind the athletes, telling them you can make it. It's not easy to have a field of 400 athletes each running at the same time, but that is Asbel Kiprop now being told, you can do it, go for it. Remember, he did it in Machakos. He can also do it here. And that is Robert Kiprop being cheered home as he takes that bend towards the last lap of this one. And that is Robert Kiprop on the last 100. Confident as he was, it's not going to be Asbel Kiprop, but it's going to be Robert Kiprop, winner of the 10-kilometer senior men's race. Winner of the day, Robert Kiprop. Asbel Kiprop will claim second. Bernard, what a race.
It was an entertaining race. I told you they love a sprint finish, and Robert started sprinting from about 100 meters to the finish line. So he was really prepared for this race, and I think it was an advantage to him because this is his home ground. He trains here, and having seen him finish in that position, I think he's so happy. He's so happy, and of course the third athlete is coming in is Vincent Kiptor. So I think Mulemi, it was a good race, if I can say. We have seen so many athletes competing here today.
And you look at the large turnout. It was expected that many athletes would have irregularities. We saw a restart in this one, but then we are glad that those who managed to enter the race, fulfill their dreams, of course, not just running, but are competing in this one, because at the end of the day, there's always one winner. But for this one, we've witnessed Robert Kiprop winning ahead of Asbel Kiprop. We've seen the likes of Vincent Kiptor also finishing on the podium. So we'll be waiting to hear what they have to say on the other side as we come to a close of this. Charity, if you're ready, you can take it away as we see some of the athletes trying to finish in, and of course checking on their times. Remember, this just being a pre-season, it means that most of them, if not winning, they just want to post good times and ensure that at least they get better as the season progresses. Remember, afterwards we'll be heading to Bomet.
Yeah, and of course
Kisi
the athletes are really, yes. Of course, the athletes are really looking forward to record impressive times here, and that is why they really want to compete, and so that that time can be entered into that data that Athletics Kenya was doing. And of course, you said you don't know where St. Patrick's is. Robert Kiprop, who won today, Mulemi, he comes from that camp. He trains within Elgeyo Marakwet County, and seeing him win today is a good thing. And of course, I'm going to hand over to Charity for the interviews, so that we can hear what Robert has for us.
Robert Kiprop, congratulations on your second victory here at Iten. Pengine tueleze nini ilikuwa inaendelea kwa kichwa chako vile ulikuwa unaona watu ni wengi wako kwa 10 kilometers?
Jana venye tulikuwa tuna register, watu walikuwa wengi, walijitokeza kwa wingi. Kile tuliweza kumaliza registration, kwa maana tulikuwa wengi, na nikaweka sasa kuwa mshindi wa leo kwa third edition cross country series which will be held in Iten today. But tuliweza kungangana, tulianza tukiwa wengi, but kila mtu anamaliza individual with your own pace. Unajua tulikuwa tumejiandaa, mimi nilikuwa nimejiandaa hii cross country, that is why si kwenda kabisa kwony. Nikasema wacha ni retain home of champion, kwa maana hapa ni area na watu waliniambia kaa nyumbani. Ndio maana nilikuwa na washabiki wengi sana juu hapa ni nyumbani, na nikaweza kuwa mshindi. Yes.
Pengine jana kulinyesha kidogo na tukakuona ulikuwa nini iliingia kwa kichwa, ulipatwa na wasiwasi kidogo?
Tulikuwa tunaangalia kama maji ilinyesha, kwa maana hii uwanja maji na lalanga. So nilikuwa nakuja kuconfirm kama maji itakuwa mingi, tuone the way forward venye tutafanya. Tutatest ourselves kama tunafunga spike mrefu ama kawaida. Najua inategemea na crown. Juu hapa ni nyasi na course ni mzuri. Tumeweza kuwa nimechukua nambari la kwanza, na that time nilishinda hapa. I thank God for that. Na coach Owoi amenisaidia sana, kwa maana ametuleta mpaka hapa tukiprogress. Yes, hata my colleague wote tuna appreciate wenye tuna train wote. Hata group zote tunaendanga, tunashukuru wote kwa maana nimekuwa mshindi wa leo. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, we also joined by number 2 who is Asbel Kiprop Rono. Asbel, race imekuwa vipi? Kulikuwa na false start, iliweza kukuaffect kidogo?
Kwanza nataka nishukuru Mungu kwanza kwa huu nimechukua namba la pili. Kwa ushindi wa leo haikuwa mbaya. Chua haikuwa mbaya, nilikimbia Machakos, chua ilikuwa juu sana lakini nilijaribu. Lakini leo haikuwa mbaya.
Ukiangalia performance yako ya Machakos na hii hapa, una feel aje na competition imekuwa vipi?
Competition ya hapa ilikuwa ya juu sana, kwa sababu niliona tulikuwa wengi sana. Lakini nimejaribu my best.
Mpango wako ya hii season ni gani?
Ya hii season nataka nijitayarishie, ndio nikuje nikimbilie Kenya team next year. Mpango yangu ni hiyo.
Thank you so much and congratulations.
Asante.
Okay. We also have number 3 who is Vincent Kipto. Vincent, tafadhali unaweza kuja tu join hapa. Vincent, hii ni cross country yako ya kwanza hii season? Njoo hapa mbele.
Okay, ni cross country yangu ya 3. Yeah. I think race haikuwa mbaya. Nilikaa sana. Though altitude is very high, but nilikuwa nimetrain kwa high altitude bado. Nimetrain capture up. Yeah. But naona si mbaya, mwili si mbaya. Yeah.
Matarajio yako kwa hii season vile tunaendelea ni gani? Na we kumaliza kwa podium inamaanisha nini kwako? Songa hapa mbele kidogo tafadhali.
Okay. Tunasema?
Matarajio yako kwa hii season ni gani? Pengine unajipanga vipi?
Vile najipanga nichukue nambari la kwanza kwa sababu hiyo ni mahono ambayo niko nayo kwa sasa. Kwa sababu naona mazoezi ninachapa si mbaya.
Thank you and congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. That was Robert Kiprop retaining his title here at Iten, and also number 2 was Asbel Kiprop Rono taking in the second position, and Vincent Kipto happy to have finished in the third position. Rotich, as we have covered Kapsakoni and also we've covered Machakos, how intense was Iten?
Of course, it has been a good turnout for the athletes. I think athletes, of course, this is the home of champions and we have so many athletes training here. But again, we've seen athletes from South Rift, somebody like Cynthia Chepngeno, winning here in the high altitude of Iten. So I think the athletes were really prepared for this race. They are motivated to compete. Remember, it's very important. It's very much important for them so that they can be able to get races internationally. And we have athletes who are competing here today so that the scouts can be able to see whom to select and maybe get a management. Most of the athletes, a bigger percentage, they don't have managers. A bigger percentage wanted to run well today so that they can be able to get their personal best time. They really wanted to do well. So seeing such a turnout today, it was really impressive compared to what we saw in Kapsokony. But of course, again, Kapsokony, it has never recorded that number of athletes. I think the prize money that the federation is giving out here has been something that motivates athletes and everybody wants to run.
Thank you so much. Mulemi, which was your most impressive race today?
I can say the 2-kilometer loop race for the men. It was so unpredictable. I never saw Anyonyi until the last moment, but also the turnout in the 10-kilometer senior men's race, it's been wonderful. And of course, just coming to Iten and doing it live for the first time has been wonderful. I can give credit to Athletics Kenya and everyone who organized this race. Of course, the county government, of course, for making this possible. It's something that can go a long way because right now we can see everyone knows who is running. Everyone has the records of who is running, and bringing it live from this part of the earth for the first time has been wonderful. I've had a very, very good experience down here.
Thank you so much. For us here from Iten, what's your parting shot?
I think see you in Bomet in a few weeks' time. We hope to enjoy all these legs, and when you come to the National Athletics Championships and of course the cross-country championships in Ruiru, everything will be at least familiar because Kenyans say that we only see these athletes in the World Cross-Country Championships. We see them in the road races, but right now they have a chance to witness and see everything. For me, it's been a very wonderful day, and the crowd, massive. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Mulemi. And Rotich, what's your parting shot?
Well, I just want to tell athletes to continue working hard, train hard, run clean. Of course, after the series, the 6th series of the federation, we have counties and then the regional level, and then of course after the regional level, we have the national event. But of course, we have two gold level events. 2 gold level events that are happening. That is the Great Chepsaita Run, which is a gold level. It's happening next month in December, that is 7th. We also see athletes competing here. They are also trying to prepare and see what they will do next month. And then of course the second one is in Sirikwa, the Sirikwa Classic event that's happening in February, which actually normally is in the tail end of the cross-country season. So I want to tell athletes to continue working hard. We are there because of them. We love seeing them competing. We love seeing them winning. We love seeing them going internationally. So we will be very happy to also see them doing well at home. So all the best in the next.
From me, Charity Wanja, I would like to urge everyone, for the athletes who are preparing to join or who wants to compete for a race, remember, there is a text that Athletics Kenya sent all the athletes in bulk. Kindly click on the link to be able to represent to be able to compete in the cross country. And remember, you must pick your beep a day before the event. And from now here we'll be heading for the mountain running that will be held at the Longonot on the 16th of November. We also have the Bomet cross country that will be held on the 30th. And Chepsaita, the registration is still going on. Kindly visit our website. You'll find the process over there. It's a quick simple step. And the beeps will be given like about 3 days for everyone to be able to collect. Remember, the registration process starts from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Kindly keep time and also be punctual. From me, I've been your host, Charity Wanja. See you next in Longonot and Bomet. Sasa
being the only president in the world wa athletics ambaye anahusika na mambo ya climate change, wa kupanda miti. Unajua miti ndiye inaleta climate change. Kwa hivyo kwanza hiyo ndiye imemfanya kwenda huko. Alituzwa kuwa the only president in the world. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru sana. Kwa hiyo ni sababu sasa hatuko na yeye leo, niko na wengine wa athletics Kenya kama huyu madamu unaona hapa. This is our CEO, Madam Kamau, na iko wengine na wale wa hapa, mashaman wa hapa na wengine. Kwa hivyo, Your Excellency, without wasting time, na kuongeza tafadhali kuja neno moja.
Asante sana Victor. Nataka nichukue fursa hii kwa niaba ya kaunti yetu niwakaribishe sana Elgeyo Marakwet watu wa Athletics Kenya, especially led by our Vice President. Nilichelewa kwa sababu tulitoka Nairobi, lakini nilisema lazima nifike hapa ili tusherehekee pamoja our athletes. Nataka pia nishukuru all athletes ambao wameparticipate leo na niwaambie kwamba you are at the right place. Kama gavana wa Elgeyo Marakwet, sisi tumesema mambo ni mawili peke yake. You are either born in Elgeyo Marakwet or you train in Elgeyo Marakwet. Lakini naona tutaongeza ya tatu, or compete in Elgeyo Marakwet so that you become a champion. Nataka nishukuru our local team kiongozwa na mwalimu Tireni na Y, the entire team ya Athletics Kenya kwa Elgeyo Marakwet. We are going places as a county. And from now on, tukitoka hapa saa hii, tuko na ambassador ya France anakuja hapa na mayor kutoka city inaitwa Miramas huko France. At 2:30 napata hawa saa hii kwa ofisi, na wamekuja hapa tu kwa sababu ya mbio. Elgeyo Marakwet is seen in the world. 2 days ago nilikuwa na host US ambassador anaitwa Matt Whitman. Inamaanisha kwamba iko kitu mzuri hapa Elgeyo Marakwet. Biblia ilikuwa inasema wakati Yesu alikuwa anazaliwa, walikuwa wanasema what can come out of Bethlehem, a very small city, nini inaweza tokea? Lakini Yesu alizaliwa wapi? Bethlehem. Lakini Elgeyo Marakwet sasa Iten, watu walikuwa wanasema what can come out of Iten? Lakini sasa champions are being manufactured from Iten, from Elgeyo Marakwet County. So nashukuru wote wale wawili, hata wale wawili leo, you are actually champions because you are in the county of champions. Na wakaribisha nyote tarehe 24 Elgeyo Marakwet. Sasa karibu every 2 weeks 3 weeks tuko na competition. Tarehe 24 this month of November tuko na Iten International Marathon 3rd edition tunafanyia hapa. So nawakaribisha wote, mwenye atawin anapewa pesa kama huyu mwenye anabeba leo pesa. It is a county where we want to change and transform through sports and transform lives through talent hapa Elgeyo Marakwet County. So nawashukuru wote, alafu na market yetu tunataka tu apologize ya kwamba ule contractor alituaibisha sana. Kwa hiyo aibu ile alituaibisha, tumemwambia yatalipia. Kwa hivyo DCI, NCA, wote they are handling that contract. So mimi kazi yangu ilikuwa kuomba huyu contractor akakuja na ujinga yake akafanya upuzi. So atalipia upuzi yake mwenyewe. Kwa hivyo nataka niwaambie tu wakaaji wa Elgeyo Marakwet, ongoeni kwa sababu ya kukaribisha wageni wetu wote, na Athletics Kenya tunaomba kitu moja. Our athletes, hii mambo ya doping na mambo ya GBV na mambo ya kwa kundi, there are only 3 major issues yenye tuko nayo kwa athletics hapa Kenya. Number 1, doping, kuna wakora wabado wanasumbua vijana wetu. Number 2, tuko na shida ya hii GBV. Ukora akisikia tu msichana anataka kukimbia mzuri, kuna vijana wanakuja kukaa kama discipline sana, baa sports shoes kama mimi sasa hivi nimevaa, alafu anatembea Iten, kona amekonda anaona kama yeye ni mkimbiaji, kumbe anataka kutumia wasichana wetu, alafu anaua mwisho. Nataka nipeane onyo ya kwamba if you have come to Iten to come and torture our girls, we will finish you before you finish our girls. Wow. We will finish you before. That is the second problem that we have. And the third problem is rogue agents. Wale wanataka kutumia vijana wetu, mtu anawin 2 million ama 5 million. Alafu mtu mkora tu atakimbia, amekuwa akikula kwa hoteli, alikaa, anakuja kuchukua 3/4 of that money. Kwa sababu huyu mwenye labda anakimbia, labda haelewi kuandika contract. Hiyo mimi sasa nimeemploy mwenye anaitwa county attorney. Anytime in the next 2 weeks, county attorney ama attorney general ya Elgeyo Marakwet atapata kazi. Na akishafika kazi yake ya kwanza ni kuprotect our athletes. Ukiwa na contract, uja usomeo kwanza na ni free of charge kwa ofisi. Hiyo ukisomewa itaonyesha kwamba hii kitu ni mzuri ama ni mbaya, unanyanyaswa ama huwezi nyanyaswa, hata kama ni mzungu. Sababu za zingine tukiona mzungu tunadhani ni malaika, kumbe ndio wakora wanaumiza watoto wetu. I think kwa sababu ya saa nataka nishukuru watu wetu wote na niseme asanteni. We want to transform Elgeyo Marakwet to be a real county of champions. Okay, salamu kutoka waziri wetu Murkomen, amesema he is going to handle Iten Stadium na Kamarin na Chepkorio very soon. Kwa hivyo hata sasa niseme watu yeye mwenyewe atakuja alafu atasema. Okay, ni salamu zake na Mungu awabariki na awalinde. Our vice chair, take our salamu kwa president. Tell him we are very proud of him. He's doing a good job. before the marathon tutakuwa tunaweka ile flag, tunaweka mahali hapa chini Iten, alafu ionekane because we are the mecca of athletics. Waislamu wakienda Mecca, wale wote sportsmen they come to Iten. Asante sana.
You've heard from the horse's mouth ya kwamba tutakuwa na marathon tarehe 24, and we want to thank you for also coming, for actually promising you to be here, Senior Vice President, and see hiyo maneno wewe umefanya, unaona vile amesema. Please team up now tuone kwamba hiyo mambo ya gender based violence na hii maneno mengine umesema they are here, the technologies are here. Waje nipe madam kwa unatangaza tu ile, please, that is very important.
Thank you. Bwana Governor, thank you for allowing that I make this comment. And on 9th of November, and because I know you are going for another function, I want to inform you, Bwana Governor, we are coming here as Athletics Kenya and as GAF, and this is Ministry of Culture, supported by Ministry of Sports too. We are coming here, and we had made an announcement earlier that we want all the athletes to come, sababu serikali inakuja hapa on 9th together with Athletics Kenya, and the agenda is GBV. Thank you, sir.
Your Excellency, the Governor, I want to thank Athletics Kenya. I want to thank the chairman of Marketing, Digital and Strategy, Abraham Mutai, and his team. I want to thank the chairman and your team. I want to thank all the technical officials. I want to thank the Department of Sports and your office for supporting this very great event. I want to thank all the athletes and the coaches for the good work. I want to thank the chairman of the newly born child, the SACCO. Your Excellency, tunajua ile SACCO ambayo iko Iten wanamtuni. We have a SACCO for coaches and athletes here. Yes, we have Uganda and the team. Uganda and the team, please, we want to recognize the work you are doing. This is what we need to go. If you have an injury, you have some issue problem, they will solve your issues here. Otherwise, on behalf of Athletics Kenya Elgeyo Marakwet, naomba nyinyi tarehe 24 wa coaches tafadhali on 24th na mregister wanariadha wenu tarehe 23 we are issuing the running numbers. Yesterday, Your Excellency, mimi tulitoka hapa saa 3 ya usiku. Now we could not register more than 400 athletes who came late. So I want to appeal to coaches. Last minute, saizi tuko na website yetu ya Iten International Marathon. Please register now. Because I hope something imefanyika. Otherwise, Your Excellency, tunaenda kupeana zawadi. Wewe ndio chairman wetu wa SACCO na anasema asante kanda. This is mimi nilifunza huyu Steve by the way. Cherono wao ulienda marathon sasa hivi. Nakushukuru department vizuri sana. Asante. Sasa Your Excellency, kwa heshima kubwa na Senior Vice President na waziri, naona waziri umefika hivi sasa, karibu. Na sisi tuende tupeane zawadi sasa kwa senior men tafadhali. Alafu baada ya gavana wetu tunaenda kupanda miti tafadhali huko chini. Tunaenda kupanda miti tafadhali.
Hiyo procession hiyo kwa utaratibu, let's pay for His Excellency na wale ambao wanaandamana naye as we aid the other side for an awarding ceremony by His Excellency the Governor. Wherever you are, you go up and get the product.
We Mike. We are expecting Governor Wesley Rotich to award the 10-kilometer men winners. Just a reminder, the winner was, we will start with the bronze medalist, who was Vincent Kipto. He is going to be getting 20,000 shillings. Governor will be accompanied by the Athletics Kenya first Vice President and also the competitions director, Mr. Paul Mutui. Vincent Kipto is on to get his award.
Your governor, sasa hiyo ni kura umepata kutoka Vincent Kipto Kapchorop. Haya, ni wapi? Asante sana. Haya, simama hapo, simama tu. Silver medalist. Haya, silver medalist ni Asbel Kibrono. Kibrop. Unatoka wapi bro? Kipchiloi is actually from here. Huyo ni Asbel Kibrono with the sum of Kenya shillings 40,000. Na gold medalist pia anatoka hapa, Robert Kipto. Anatoka hapa Iten. Robert Kiprop. And is defending the title, Robert Kiprop. Haya. Yeye anatoka hapa Iten hapa hivi. Ana train hapa ni kwao na hapa ni kwao. Ana train hapa ni kwao. Kiprop. Asante sana Kiprop. You can picture your excellency. Waziri na chairman wa digital governor. Tafutie mbuzi ya Disemba kwa sababu amefanya kazi mzuri. Fanyie tafadhali. Ingia hapo. Hata Kennedy Tanu amefanya kazi mzuri sana. Wewe ni kuku kama kuku. Haya. Na waziri wako wa ardhi amekuwa hapa akiangalia, na chairman wetu wa North Rift. Waziri wa ardhi anasema hapa tuta extend kidogo. Asanteni sana. Basi.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. We are joined here by the governor of sorry. Okay, we are joined here by the governor for Elgeyo Marakwet, Mr. Wesley Rotich. Karibu sana. This is Athletics Kenya. We're broadcasting all the series and we thank you for the support. But I have a few questions for you concerning, first of all, what is the status of Kamarin Stadium? We need to see the world beaters. We have the Tokyo Championships coming up. What are your plans?
Asante sana. First and foremost, I want to appreciate. Nataka nishukuru sana wale athletes wote ambao wamekimbia leo. Nataka pia nichukue fursa hii kushukuru Athletics Kenya kwa ile kazi mzuri wamefanya. They have been supporting almost every month. Tuko na sports event in Elgeyo Marakwet County since I became governor. The Athletics Kenya team has been very supportive, na vijana wetu wengi wameanza kuona kumbe it's possible to monetize mambo ya sports. Kwa hivyo nawashukuru sana. Nashukuru athletes wote ambao wameparticipate in today's function. Wale wamekimbia leo, wale wamechukua, tunawapongeza, na pia hata wale hawakuwin, there is a tomorrow. Na unajua winners, unajua Elgeyo Marakwet hapa ukikimbia hapa hata ukiwa number 400 ukifika Europe wewe ni number 1, actually unaweza vunja record. So it's because here you are competing among champions. Everyone is a champion. So here anyone who gets any number here is a champion across the world. So if you win here, you can win any other race across the world. So we appreciate. Secondly, mambo ya Kamarin, nataka niseme kwamba it has been thorn in the flesh ya mimi kama governor wa eneo hili, imenisumbua sana, lakini nataka nitoe kwamba kuna good news ya kwamba waziri wetu Kipchumba Murkomen wakati amechukua hatamu, mimi nilikuwa nimesukuma sana mpaka ikakuwa advertised ikue ijengwe, lakini watu wakachelewesha kidogo kwa sababu ya mambo ya pesa. Lakini waziri wetu Kipchumba Murkomen amenipatia assurance ya kwamba ametafuta pesa mahali, na anytime there is a new contractor who will come and design and build. Tumesema we want to design a good field pale Kamarin. Hata hii yenye tunatumia leo we want to design iko one package, alafu itafanyika pamoja yote. Kwa hivyo nataka nikueleze usiwe na wasiwasi. Najua imechukua muda, miaka na mikaka. Na hata mimi sipendi kuongelea sana kwa sababu tunangoja tu action. Hatutaki tena tuongee kwa maneno. Tunataka ikuwe actionable. La waziri wetu ametupatia ahadi ya kwamba hiyo kazi itaanza na ni karibu sana, haitachukua muda.
Thank you. Now, speaking of the talent that is seen here in Iten being the source of champions, we have your number 1, Robert Kiprop, is among the athletes who double up in the track and also in the road races. Perhaps for athletes like him, how could you, perhaps you would like to see that the pavements for training are being improved. Perhaps when will that be done?
Asante sana. Our team we bought some few machines. Now our team roads have done some assessment. We initially thought we could get money kutoka national government, but because of challenges we have decided to use our own machines. So because of the rains recently we could not do much, but we are starting before the end of the dry season. We want to do as many as possible in terms of trucks, running trucks. KFS has accepted to give us the running trucks within the forest, na tumekubali ya kwamba tutafanya na KFS hiyo mambo ya running trucks. Pia tumesema our athletes wote wako na shida moja. Shida yao pia ni coaches. Wako na wachache sana. We have so many athletes but very few coaches. Na ndio maana leo hii tunakutana na ambassador wa France na tunakutana na mayor kutoka City of Miramas in France. Wanataka kutusupport to train as many coaches as possible. And our target is to train 1 coach in every primary school na 1 coach in every secondary school. In the entire county as we speak, coaches ni karibu 20 peke yake. Hawa wakina train, there are very few, only 20. Lakini tumeamua we want to train coaches every primary school and every secondary school. We have 128 secondary schools and around 600 primary schools. So we want to train almost 700. So from 20 to 30 to around 700 coaches. It will mean every kijiji in Elgeyo Marakwet County there will be a runner. Hata akuwe mdogo hivi atakuwa anaweza kimbia. We will win from junior all the way to senior mpaka ile inaitwa masters. We will be carrying all the money and bringing them to Elgeyo Marakwet County.
For my final question, we also have our CEO, Madam Susan. Sorry, it's an ambush for you. She's been leading the safeguarding team, and here in Iten we've been having some issues. What are the strategies that you have for psychosocial support for the athletes who are training here and the assurance of their security?
Asante sana. What I want to say is that Iten is one of the most safe part, or even Elgeyo Marakwet a safe place, except the challenges we have on cattle rustling. But this GBV is another very strange crime because it's a crime which is committed by people who are purported to be friends. Unajua sasa tukitembea kwa barabara kama mimi sasa governor, najua huko Kerio Valley mtu mwenye yako na bunduki ni bandit. But this GBV is someone who is just walking with nothing, and they are friends and they are eating together, so it makes it very complicated. You may seem like Iten kama kuna mtu amewawa, lakini hatungejua because ni watu wanakaa pamoja. So the only solution to that is not even enforcement of the law. It is sensitization of our girls to understand and know how a conman or how a murderer comes. Kuna ule anakuja anakudanganya. What are some of the languages of a potential murderer, of a potential killer? So we want to, and the easiest way is to empower the girls to understand ya kwamba hapa Iten sasa, na even in Kenya, not even Iten, they are lazy people who want to take advantage of what our girls are doing. Mtu anakimbia mchana yote usiku yote Alafu mtu tu amekaa tu akikula anataka kuchukua pesa, ama anataka kuua huyu msichana ndio apate pesa, ama anataka kuua huyu, anataka kumlazimisha akuwe bibi yake, na akikataa labda ama hajakuwa tayari anamuua ili mwingine asipate. I think that one is one of our biggest problem. So we are now working with the US Embassy na NGOs hapa Iten. Meg Whitman was here, the ambassador of US, just 2 days ago. Na tumesikizana ya kwamba we want to do sensitization of our girls. Mimi kama governor, I will do the boys. I even talked to them juzi when we were giving them shoes. Nimewaambia, why should you have to even struggle? And ndarudia hapa. It may not sound good, but why do you have to struggle? Women and even men are so many in Kenya. Why do you have to focus on one person? The best thing is to focus on your career, succeed, and all varieties will come your way. Utachagua ule wenye unampenda sasa. Lakini yenye ukalia ngumu unataka kuua watu, it does not make any sense. It's only for lazy people who want to take advantage of people. Anyone who is hardworking does not need to kill anyone. Hardworking person will attract success, attracts influence, ina attract watu. Lakini kama wewe ni mtu mkora, you will not attract anybody. That is why wale wanaua watu ni wale useless people who are not hardworking. Anataka tu akaekae kidogo, akiona msichana anataka kumdanganya, akiona karibu anapata marathon, karibu anapata winning, anamshika, anamwambia anamdanganya, alafu anamuua. So here in Iten, but also mimi kama governor, we have added another one, that it is risky for you to stay in Iten if you want to take advantage of our girls. Going forward, vijana wangu wa hapa town, polisi wako, kila mtu wako, authorities are there. But even me as governor, hata mimi niko na watu kidogo. Tumesema ule mtu anataka kuua wasichana wetu, we will sort you before even the police arrive. And sorting you, tunakusalamia tukikupeleka kwa police station. Tunakupeleka tu, lakini tunakusalamianga tukifika pale kwa polisi. Asante sana.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Governor, and thank you for your time. Thank you all of you for showing up here. That was the governor for Elgeyo Marakwet, Mr. Wesley Rotich. He spoken about the Kamarin Stadium. He has assured that the resident that there are plans underway to take care of the stadium. He's also spoken about the security for the gender-based violence, and also said that Iten is going to be safe, and he has assured everyone that there will be psychosocial support for the athlete, both men and women. He's also spoken about the improvement of training pavement for athletes, and he's saying that he will be working with the Kenya Forest Service to ensure that the athlete gets running trails where they cannot risk being hit by they don't risk being hit by motorists. Over to you, over to you. As we sign out, we hope to see you in As I sign out, I hope to see you next in Naivasha during the Longonot trial, and also in Bomet. Thank you until next time.
Thank you, Charity. That was Charity interviewing the Elgeyo Marakwet County Governor. And as we end this cross-country series, we are now packing our bags and heading to Bomet cross-country. Bomet, of course, is taking place in the next I think it will be on 30th, in the next 3 weeks, and athletes are going to take place in events. The South Rift athletes are going to take events in various events in this place. It has been a good experience, a large turnout of athletes, about 1,600 athletes competing here today. Another 300 who were locked out of this event because they did not register on time. And so as we end this, I would want to urge athletes to register early enough so that when they head to Bomet, they will not be locked out of this event. Thank you so much, and see you in the next cross-country series in Bomet. Thank you so much.